Hello,
What's up, everyone?
Welcome back to Technopoverty. I'm Henry.
I'm Lux.
And we're working through Dante'S Inferno, aren't we, Lux?
We sure are.
What do you got there in your hands?
Right here, we've got the Gustave Doré illustrated version of the Henry Wadsworth Longfellow translation of Dante's Inferno, which we're reading along with and looking at pictures from as we play.
Yeah, let me just here we go. As you can see, we have the overhead camera set up to show you excerpts from the poem as we make our way through the video game. This is the end of our Summer of Doom, and we're trying to exit hell by entertaining the most epic aspects of it, I suppose.
Spoilers for hopefully this episode. We'll see an angel. We don't know because we don't know what happens in this game.
Yeah, I'm honestly hoping for a Medusa, but let's fire it up.
She's out there. I want to meet Gary on, but I doubt we'll get that far.
A Song of Ice and Fire character?
No, a different one.
Oh, okay. All-wheel drive, air frying all-wheel drive.
I used an air fryer to heat up some rice and sausage and chicken earlier today.
That sounds very good.
And I air fried fish patties for lunch yesterday.
Unlock concept art in the special features menu by defeating the circles of hell.
What up, L-Man? We're booting it up. We're working our way towards Diz. Where are we now? We're in the swamps.
So we're in the swamps.
It's like the Wrath, right?
Yeah, like the bog before you get to the river Styx, where the wrathful and the sullen constantly pull each other down. I'm just going to refamiliarize myself with some of these controls. You got a really cool attack. You chose it last time.
Which one?
That one.
Yeah. You gotta be careful with it, though, is the thing.
Yeah. I liked it because that leap is like a nice dodge. You could take advantage of those iframes too.
Yeah.
It was really helping us with the boss there. But, fixed camera angles. What is this, Resident Evil?
God of War, baby.
It's not the wrathful in the game, though, Lux. It's the angry.
Yeah, that's true. They're neither sullen nor wrathful. They're freaking pissed. They're freaking pissed off. This is the circle of hell for all the people who are writing articles about why there shouldn't be children at Disney World.
No children anywhere in public spaces.
The children at Disneyland thing is getting crazy.
Tell me more.
There's just there was an article came out a couple days ago that was just sort of about the way people talk about children in public space in general. Mm-hmm. And one of the stats it included was that there are now on average more childless adults than adults with children at Disneyland.
Whoa.
Which I found to be extremely distressing, just in the sense of come on, just you gotta have a better thing to do with your day. Disneyland's fun, don't get me wrong. I like going to Disneyland, but I go, I don't know, once every 3 to 5 years, I'll be at Disneyland. I think that's about the max for me. I don't go.
I've never been.
Yeah, well, I go to LA for work stuff a couple times a year. And when I'm there for work, once in a while, I'll plan a day to go, with a friend of the show, Griffin, or something, to Disneyland and ride some rides and stuff. And that's fun. But the idea that Disneyland is becoming increasingly a space for adults. Yeah, see, DeHamel's Mammal, that's crazy. And Disney World especially is nuts. Well, Disney World...
2 to 3 times a year? Wow.
At least going 2 or 3 times in a year to Disney World makes a little bit of sense, because it's big enough that you can't really see it all if you just go for a day. You have to go on a committed trip to do it. And so I could imagine, if you live nearish to it, which I don't know if you do, I don't want to dox you, DeHamel's Mammal. but you'd have to go a couple times. But I actually imagine if your friend's taking a longer trip to there, yeah, I think you want to put that thing on there. And then together, you can go into the tunnel.
Right, Satan's boning my lady.
Satan,
Just like in the poem.
Souls indignant. How many up there count themselves kings, that here shall lie like pigs in the mire?
I'm right there with you, D. Hamels Mammal.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, that so there's that element of it, right? You talked to him twice, Dark Souls style, to get the full dialogue. Ooh.
Medusa's Call. She's the Queen of Dis.
Those are both pretty good.
Yeah. This one's basically scythe strong. I don't mind swiping it out to see. Ooh. I do like that, but
Yeah,
we gotta
yeah.
level up.
But yeah, so Hamilton Handle, there is that element, right? Like, there's just sort of question of like taste, and you only have one life to live, and only one, chance to do the stuff, and you only have so many resources to spend. Why are you dedicating that life and those resources to going to a Disney park when you could do so many other more interesting things? There's obviously that, but like people are allowed to like the things they like. That to me is. I think that there's probably a soul around here we could get our hands on. So look out for a lost spirit. Because I can hear someone talking and you know that that's that cue. Is there up? Can you go up? No. Okay. Oh, yeah, you can actually. Go up the middle. Go back. Maybe back to the wall you were just on. And then back to the left. And I think in the middle of that, there's a little narrow channel going upwards. See if you can climb that. You see, like, right next to that tree?
Nope. You talking about right here?
Yeah, you can't go up there?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, so, okay. Sorry, I got distracted by my lust for souls. But what I was trying to say is that, of course, there is the sort of question of why you would spend your time that way.
Spoon out my kidneys.
And that's obviously sort of like a reasonable question. But I think to that end, there's also sort of a subsequent question, which is the sort of entitlement to the space that adults express more and more, and the distaste for children being there. You take those the whole list of stuff first, and then you can, yeah. The distaste for children being there, and I think that's to me the like truly fucked up element of all this stuff is like being a grown up who likes Disney is weird and yucky, but it's allowed. Like that to me is, I can accept that such people exist and appreciate their.
I am an adult gamer. Come on now.
Yeah, exactly. Like. I read like 2 to 3 fantasy novels a week.
Yeah, I still get comic books on the regular.
Yeah, so like I am by no means qualified to be like grow up and get an adult hobby. Henry and I go to great lengths to trick ourselves into thinking that playing video games is a grown-up hobby by also reading a book.
Extremely, yeah.
So like, obviously that's not really a position I'm willing to take. I think it's stupid. You have to jump across there and smash that gate.
I saw that. I'm just looking around for anything. Okay, there's a soul over there.
Yeah. Ooh, no. You have to use triangle. I think it's triangle. We'll see. But then increasingly there is discourse around how it's bad. Yeah, let me try it. Yeah. It's bad that kids can go in there. That kids going to Disney parks is itself a bad thing, and that those should be adult spaces, which is obviously insane Oplex stuff. Okay, I had an idea, but it was a bad idea. I'm gonna try 2 other ideas, and if I don't work, I'll give up.
This is something I wonder, for instance, with Andor, because I like Andor. Okay, so something I've noticed recurring with a lot of my issues I've had, or critiques, or cringe with pop culture. Okay, there you go. I wonder what the efficacy of Andor is, if it's supposed to be for adults that are supposed to internalize it as like a deep philosophical thing versus it still just being Star Wars, and like how...
Gnarly, that's a great joke. Sorry, Gnarly made a really good joke. I just wanted to flag that it was a really good joke.
Yeah.
Go on.
And
by the way, I'm absolving the fuck out of Boudica.
Do it up.
That's a non-question.
But like, how much of like Andor is? Do kids enjoy Andor, or is it just adults who recognize it as like political salve? Is kind of my question.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's for kids. I think it's fine for there to be Star Wars shit that's not for kids per se. I just think that the equivalent is more like, you know, this would never happen because of the weirdness of the culture surrounding Steven Universe, but like, oh no, every time you miss you lose one. I didn't realize that. But like, imagine that like all the Steven Universe people were like, kids watching this is bad and only grown-ups should enjoy Steven Universe. That loses. Or, you know, and as Wiz points out, Andor's not on a giant multi-panel Coke ad near me. Kylo Ren is. Like, Kylo Ren is the advertise for kids, sell it, monetize it part of the project. And Andor is, in so much as such a thing exists, I think, to some degree, an actual artistic expression within the Disneyverse. Because those things exist. Like, people try to do stuff. Like, people still want to make things that they like. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, the movies are for the whole family part of the equation. Okay.
I think you wanted to go across the whole thing.
I want this guy to come down here so I can kill his ass.
Doing the Flash Gordon fight.
Yeah, I'll spam that. Get down here and die, you freak. But so the Disney equivalent thing in this case would be if people were saying that it's bad that kids go see the Star Wars movies.
Okay.
Right, I think that's
yeah. I was about to say, what about like the reactionary nerd impulse? We all like these millennials like don't understand this was my nerd culture, even though like Star Wars has been a blockbuster series from the get-go.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't ask them. Yeah.
But yeah, the I don't want to see childrification of public spaces. The anti-socialness of that.
Yeah.
Something you were kind of poking at. I was finding interesting.
It's just sort of like the shortcoming here is not that children exist. The shortcoming here is that you, as an adult weirdo, are incapable of coping with the presence of children. That's the problem here.
Yeah, this is striking me to the perception people have. You know, there's a distinction between like children's media as like it can be respectful towards kids, or it's children's media, so it's just like it's kiddie, it's below me, it's not high art, it can't be.
Well, and the thing is just that like it's the idea that if adults like it, it's a thing for adults now.
Right.
And children don't get to have it, and it's bad for children to have access to it, is like, to me, so crazy. And it is so rooted in, like a fairly distressing to me idea of social life.
Are you able to jump back on that cord?
I think I could, but I want to go this way and get these things first and smell what's over here. It may be that this is critical path.
I think this is critical path.
This smells like critical path. Let's go back. Oh wait, but there's Guy.
So we're like under the swamps of wrath.
You know I want to see Guy. And suicide trees are after swamps, right?
Right. Suicide trees have not happened yet in the books, in the book, in the cantos, in the song and dance poetry.
Yeah. I'm worried I can't get back to that rope.
Well, carry forward.
Well, I want to see if I can. Will this come back up? No.
The Hamels mammal. Seeing an adult cry because she's meeting Goofy is wild to me, though.
I might have goofed this one up by jumping down too early.
Oh yeah, haha, gnarly. Perfect point. Children already have plenty of places to socialize, such as the Roblox sweatshop break room or Roblox Mr. Beast simulator lobbies. Also schools when there's not shooters on campus.
Yeah, so that is RFM 100% true.
Yes.
I think that there is this impulse to be like, this is mine and I don't want kids to be associated with it because that delegitimizes it. But yeah, the thing I was trying to get at before, the reason I even mentioned Disney in the first place, is just this like, I want to save one of these because I almost want to go back and see what's on the other side of that rope.
Okay.
Is that like, there's this insane impulse to de-childify. Oh, there's a guy over there. De-childify public space in general because it like, of the demand it puts on you to tolerate the existence of a child.
Mm-hmm. So we're just coming across the heretics, eh?
That should mean we're getting closer to Dis.
Well, the heretics are inside Dis.
That's what I mean.
Getting slippery with the lore here, game.
Hecuba's cool. To me. But yeah, like, there's this antisocial desire to just sort of exist in a bubble and not need to engage with the reality of other people ever.
Mm-hmm.
If you can avoid it. Oh, there's trick ones now.
Makes it easier, no?
Sort of. Oh, fuck me. And like that's, I don't know, so distressing to me. All right, we got to level 4 holy. So now we need to get more unholy. Anyway, it's fine. Like, it's very distressing to me that there's what appears to be a sincere desire to sort of check out from communal life in any meaningful way. And instead, can I go down? There we go.
Yeah.
I want to try and get back that rope. I bet there was a guy over there, and I love the guys. The guys are my favorite part.
I'm down to reload.
All right, I can do that from here, right? How do you do it? How do you load? Can I do it from the Beatrice statue, maybe?
I think the Beatrice statue is straight up just a save menu. There's no like options, return to main menu thing in the...
I press start.
Chat, is there a soft
here we
reset?
go.
There we go.
We're just gonna soft reload because I jumped the gun on something.
Yes, Wizworld.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, it's the idea that like...
No, back out of this.
The idea that like, your good time... your good time is contingent on other people not infringing on it to the degree where like people are complaining about there being kids at the brewery they go to, and they're like, it's bad for kids to be at a brewery, but it's like a brewery with like a kids menu and a jungle gym.
Yeah.
Like, it's clearly there's a space for kids to be there, and it's not their fault that they exist. And it speaks to a super atomized, to like a really distressing degree, social reality that people would react that way to the presence of children, the presence of other people in general. That there would be just such intense pushback against the fact of other people. I mean, obviously, look, there was this post I saw where someone was like, talking about how saying I'm not good with kids is like is a good reason to not want them around, and say like I'm not good with kids is actually weird when people are good with kids. It's bad actually. And it's like, you don't have to be good with kids.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, it's like maybe search within yourself to figure out why the idea of being able to deal with a child is so insanely difficult for you, and maybe that's something worth reflecting on. But also, like, you don't have to be good with kids. You just have to be able to have a tolerance for their existence in...
You can see them in public,
Yeah,
right?
like you can look at, like you can see one and not throw up is like the thing people are asking of you. And some people are just like, I can't even do that. And it's like, that's so crazy to me. And it's such a, I don't know, it speaks to this really like horrifically isolation heavy worldview and political mode, or personal mode, which obviously the personal is the political mode, but like it speaks to this very specific mode of being that is just like, I'm one person in a bundle, and your job in social life is to like have fun and like enjoy yourself, and if other people get in the way of you having fun, like they're being bad, regardless of kind of how they're doing it. Like the assumption is, I feel to go to a brewery and do kind of whatever I feel like at the brewery, and if I don't, then other people have done something wrong to me, even if all that they've done is be a child nearby.
Yeah, haha gnarly's bring up. Kids really have a low bar. A lot of the ones I get to be around are just happy to have someone to talk with. Wizworld says, and kids are generally nice to be around. Yeah, show them just when something going on. Yeah, so, I don't know, one of the things I've always thought...
Headphones in a second.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's my fault. I just pulled off my head while I was fighting.
One of the things I've always felt in this way is like kids...
Yeah, true that, Wiz.
Kids have a sense of curiosity and like a sense to ask why in ways that might rub wrong with adults who've like really locked into a rigid or essentialist understanding of the world, or a certain way in which they haven't figured everything out, but they've shielded themselves through lenses of ideology they don't really want to look at. Whereas a child comes along asking, well, like, why do we have to pay taxes? Why do we have to do X, Y, and Z? And it just starts reminding...
Child's a damn libertarian.
Yeah, it just starts reminding adults like of how much of this is constructed in a way that might be uncomfortable on a subconscious level, on top of whatever other loaded ideas or tensions people have with their conceptions of what kids are or what they represent to them.
Yeah, oh man, that makes total sense. I mean, it's just like...
I think about like when I did like I did some film workshops and stuff for the I worked with some high school kids doing film stuff for the school district back in El Paso. Like it was like a summer film camp, and the kids would make music videos and stuff like that. And more often than not, these kids would already be like creative impulse types who were like in bands with their friends or like acting, had an active like curiosity about some sort of like, you know, geek fixation. And so the kids would be given the tools to do filmmaking stuff at the summer camp, and they would end up making stuff that would just shock the adults sometimes because it was about like just like rock and roll. Like one kid had a song about murdering prostitutes that him and his friends ended up making a music video to, and it just shocked the shit out of the adults. It's like, yeah, the film academy didn't teach them that. Like that is something like the kids have come up with due to their interfacing with the world in a way where like they're curious about making provocative and like edgy art because they're testing boundaries and they're curious about like those kind of like things.
Yeah, gnarly. I think you're hitting an absolutely true statement here. Like, dealing with kids in a professional or like caring capacity is something that like you don't need to be you should not be obligated to do. That's like an opt-in thing. But the idea of being near some of them at the brewery is like an entirely distinct thing. Like, that's the thing. That's why my thing is less about kids specifically, although I keep using kids as an example just because of the thing I just recently read. But like, it's not really the kids thing. It's the question of like sharing social space in general is increasingly a thing people like seem to be opposed to. And like having to be around and deal with the reality of other human beings. And some of that's definitely like, you know, everyone's online now and shit. And that's part of it and sucks. But also, I think it is very much a capitalism, anti-community thing of like, we all live these atomized lives that have nothing to do with each other.
Well, like in therapy speak, it's very traumatizing to fucking assert your kids over me in a public space and remind me of that stuff.
Yeah, that is so true.
That's a lot of labor you're asking me to do.
Yeah, it's really a lot of psychic labor to have to be reminded of the fact that someone's kid might exist, that you don't have a kid, and that also the person with the kid maybe likes their kid more than they like you. That really is a tough thing to have to encounter.
Now I have to relitigate my whole relationship with my dad, Lux.
Yeah, and it's not fair that someone would make you do that. But yeah, I just mean that like, we're increasingly seeing from this stuff the idea that...
Oh, I love that, haha, gnarly.
That like, to be in social space doesn't mean like tolerating the idiosyncrasies of other people as you engage with it, but rather minimizing the idiosyncrasy of social space is like the solution, and I fucking hate that. I talked about this, I think I talked to you about this, Henry. There's an issue of Way of X, my favorite of the Jonathan Hickman X-Men things, which is the one... Way of X is a really great 4-comic run. Everyone should read it if you haven't. Oh, come on.
Holy crap, Lois. Here, I can...
Yeah, I'll just take care of this. That was so annoying. And entirely my fault, but...
Did you flick the stick?
Yeah.
We're absolving, correct? Yep.
Yeah, I mean, RFM, that's true too, but like, I honestly think it's... that like...
What's right here for you?
That's true that there is a certain like resentfulness that is brought about by the question of access and capital and all that. I think that's definitely legitimate. I also just think that kids are a stand-in to this conversation for just like any social idiosyncrasy.
Yeah, because this can start leading into like anti-disability rhetoric and such,
or
accessibility excuses,
or just like, you know, I should get to do the thing I want to do in public, sort of no matter what. And if something gets in the way of my ability to do that, it's bad. And kids can be that, but so can just like a weird guy, or, you know, some weird friends doing weird friend stuff. And it's just increasingly this desire to sort of atomize and isolate and do like oneself from the space around you, which is also a capitalism or nothing, obviously.
The otherization, be it like social, racial, aesthetic.
Yeah, I mean, it's just this thing where like I shouldn't have to deal with other people, and it's like, I mean,
let's see, our question was...
I mean, that's part of why we do the show, is for sure. Yeah,
Yeah. Did you ever see, I think it's called the
No,
amusement
this was not
park?
worth it, but I'll go get the stuff.
Did you ever see the amusement park, the like Lost Jorge Romero movie?
Oh yeah.
Very good film about ageism. Nice. Automatically absolve the damned.
I don't care. I don't want to auto-resolve them. I like pressing the button.
I'm kind of glad that minigame's gone.
I like the minigame.
I liked it, but I don't know, the pace of that last one was just... Could have been faster. Although I never got to play any of the fake ones like you had.
Well, you can
Those
try the
seem to
fake.
make them fun.
Well, it's your choice. That guy's coming up soon. But yeah.
We're gonna sugar up before this fight.
I mean, there's for sure an ageism thing. But like, it's really just any social thing at all. And this plays out in multiple ways, right? Like, there's the story Rory loves to tell where, and sorry to Rory, I know you're not watching because you never watch anything on Twitch anyway, but I'm going to steal your story now because I'm allowed to, is that he was at a live podcast recording.
Oh yes, do get into this because you're getting somewhere I wanted to ask about.
Yeah, I'm choosing the wrong, I'm telling the wrong story, but I'll tell this. So one of these was a live podcast recording, and there were two people watching, in the audience live podcast recording, watching a YouTube video on their phones during the recording, and like while the thing was happening, and he was just like, this sucks, and told them to stop, and they got mad at him for like interrupting their lives. And then another time he was in a movie and watched someone sitting in front of him get on their phone to read the Wikipedia synopsis of the movie that they were currently watching, and they also got mad at him when he told them to stop. And it's this idea that like they live in this bubble where the existence of other people is in fact a thing about which they should not have to be bothered. And that also means that like a child, and children are like by their nature, you should absolve when you can.
Oh.
Not read it aloud, just read it for themselves. Do you listen to Podcast The Radar FM? Because I love that show. But yeah, like, it's the idea that like, that children are forced to, like, children more than anything else, like, have like a degree of social acceptance for obvious reasons, and then also absolve them. And then also, there's more of a stigma about being anti-child because of, again, obvious reasons. And then the way in which they intrude on your social life is like more obvious. Like a kid yelling and screaming and farting is like definitely more intrusive than like, you know, someone having their phone on in the movie theater. Like it's just a more annoying thing. I want to go back to, before we get into whatever you wanted to talk about the Rory stuff though, I wanted to go look at what RFM said. Which is, it's there, you don't have to scroll. It makes sense that theme parks want to alchemize it because there's so much pressure on having your perfect Disney day and it brings so much more, so much to the fore. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's that whole thing is just like,
the perfect individuated experience.
yeah, exactly. Like people want the perfect, yeah, exactly, the perfect individuated experience, and then, all right, now let's save because we got everything.
We got that Beatrice stone, yeah.
You can save over both of them now because I'm not scared of going back anymore. We can actually advance the game. That one was on me. I have no one to blame but myself for this.
It was worth going back for that Beatrice stone. IMHO. Not too painful.
Thank you, Darlie. That's the goal. Is the chat's allowed to be as long-winded and meandering when they're talking as we are. That's the ethos we want to cultivate. But yeah, like it is that perfect alchemy of like the individual experience, and Disney's selling that too, right? So,
an example that came up because I saw you and Rory talking about this on Mr. Burns' stream. Is like people in mosh pits making the show their own, where the participant is not there to be an audience member observing the band. They're there to be reporting that they are there, and the focus is on them themselves. Just the way that fundamentally shifts the whole reason, like you go to a show and like everybody else is.
Yeah, everyone's there to engage this communal thing, but then when you have the people like wanting to make it their own thing or like do crowd killing stuff,
Right.
it takes them out of the communal ethos and into their own.
And so there's that tension between like when a crowd gathers in consensus for like what the activity is versus like when individuals start doing that shit.
Yeah, exactly. And what the desire is.
And what does that mean as far as like how do we resolve these public disputes?
Wiz, I'm sorry that you never got to have your Zaps moment. That's really tragic. But gnarly, I think that's totally right. I mean, I think there is a large degree of this that is, and that's why Disney's tough, because like, my personal beef is with this dynamic in general. But Disney's such a good example of it, but Disney also has all this extra baggage.
The rectifying of like childhood experiences, like meeting the perfect one as an adult that you didn't get as a kid, like a very consumerist sense of nostalgia to me. Like I didn't get to live the TV commercial where the Tricks Rabbit tells me I know all the clues, and so now I'm gonna go to this like Tricks mystery box adult adventure like escape room.
But that is like a socially extant narrative, though. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's like significant to point out, like that is a real thing, right? Is that we grow, like, especially those of us who grew up in like the 80s, like the 80s through early 2000s.
Kids, there's a secret world your parents should know about. You can go there with our products and you'll be cool.
Not just that, but like that, like the kids who got to go to Disney and do all the fun stuff got to then grow up to be like these, you know, coherently. You're gonna want to short those bricks eventually, but got to be these coherently constructed subjects, like.
Right, they had like self-actualized.
Yeah, like
yeah.
like part of what growing up in a healthy way and being like a productive child.
That's what being an American
or part
is.
of like a functional American subject was going to Disneyland with the fam and experiencing that thing, and that like there was a sense that like if you didn't get to do that, you were missing out on like a crucial developmental or socializing experience, even if that's not really true. Like I didn't go to Disneyland until I was in high school, and the only reason I went in high school was because there's a debate tournament near Disneyland, and we were promised if we did a good enough job that we could go to Disneyland. And like I liked it, I had fun, I love roller coasters, I'm a freak for the coasters of all kinds, but like Disneyland in and of itself wasn't like a specific, like, I think it was not necessarily a specific need of mine per se, but like the desire to have the experience of going to the big Disney park and having the grand childhood experience of being fully formed by the magic of Disney is like a real thing. It's like a real, you know, compulsion is the wrong word, but it's like, I think you need to get away from that thing and just kill these guys, dude.
Should I climb over here?
I think you want to climb over there.
Before or after?
We'll see what's over to your left. Like climb up and go left.
No.
Oh, you should have done that.
Just done the thing.
No, I mean, I think it's one of those things where like once you get to do it, the sort of cultural demand of it goes away. But I do think that cultural demand like did exist when we were, you know, people of our age were young. Right, Daniel's Mammal, exactly that. Like that's the constructed position, I think. Is that like the assumption is every kid wants to go to Disney and your kid will be like developmentally harmed by a failure to do so. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I had the Montgomery County Fair that my family would go to once a year outside of DC, and that was like our Disneyland with like shitty rides and horrible, unhealthy snacks and the biggest the produce contest and biggest pig competition and shit.
Oh yeah.
But like, I mean, okay. Well, this is if we're gonna talk about the constructed shit to sell stuff, then we can get into. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Right, RFM. That's what I'm talking about, right? Like, there's this culturally narrativized significance to the theme park, and you gotta kill that guy, dude. Because you guys are running around.
No, that fire's gonna catch up. We gotta.
Yeah, I think the Disney thing is like a brand that sells it and gets a special significance from other stuff. And it's also Disney latching on to that specific kind of emotional appeal. And I think that's definitely true. That exists and is real. Yeah, right. Disney makes a special appeal that all the kids especially love. And it has like the special magic, but it's not, you can still have the formative experience of the theme park without the Disney part of it. I definitely got to have the classic all-American experience of going to. There we go. Ren Fair works too, for sure. But I definitely got the childhood experience of going to, the fair with the girl that I liked and having a special afternoon. Like, that was a thing I definitely did get to do as a kid. That was like significant and felt significant. I mean, if a kid doesn't meet Snoopy, do they even really have a childhood? Is a question I think we should all be asking. You gotta talk to Verge. Don't forget our friend.
I suspect there's just, oh, nice.
Oh, huge.
How many do, oh, wow. You're doing pretty good on, like, collecting stuff. Oh, hey. My suspicion was correct.
Ooh, the guiding flame. What does that one do? Oh, we're immune to excrement attacks. That's cool.
Let's do some upgrades here, so.
Yeah, I went to prom throughout high school because theater kids love going to prom. And everyone that I had any kind of intimate relationship in high school was a theater kid. That's right.
I only think I did homecoming dance senior year.
I was never prom king because there were handsomer theater kids at Washington D.C.'s foremost arts high school than Lux. There were more kingly possibilities at Fancy Art High School than ya boy. But I definitely did go, and I had a good time. I had the same like really long hair, but less of a receding hairline. But I had really long, often weirdly dyed hair in high school, like zebra stripes, etc.
Smash for now. All right.
Yeah, what's up? RHG, rise up. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, prom was like the theater's like writers, directors, and set crew and my improv team getting into like going out to dinner and then getting drunk and then going and dancing around and then going to someone's house and doing mushrooms and just doing that once a year for 3 years.
Seldom, but once before I was conjured down by Ursula. Shortly after my death, she sent me down to
Gnarly, that's so true about receding hairlines. It is really just a relativist position.
The Circle of Judas.
That's the bottom.
Is that it? No? Yeah, it's Judas, Cassius, and Brutus
Yep.
being chewed on.
Yep. One guy killed Jesus and 2 guys killed Caesar, and they're all down there.
Caesar was just like Jesus.
Twice as good if you think about it, in terms of guys who are being punished for his death. They are kind of the original Hanson, gnarly, you're right. But yeah, I think prom was like I said, was very, for me was very like, you know, just as theater kid oriented as the rest of my life, which is to say very. Oh, we gotta put Filippo in the dirt, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna punish him.
Sorry, Filippo, you suck. And bam, level 4.
Nice.
Let me see if I can find Filippo in here really quick. And
Is he the one that is like a rival poet, but he doesn't believe in God, so he goes to hell?
I think that might be it.
Dante, there's a dude who Dante sees.
There's the Epicurean guy, but that's a different guy, I think.
Yeah. There's that dude, he's basically like, he's like, oh yeah, you were a good poet. Dante is very just like complimentary, but it's like, oh, it's sad to see him down here. Here we go.
This kind of does happen in the book. See, here's a picture of it happening in the book. If you want to pop the overhead. See, like, he rides a little boat through the swamp, the Lake of Wrath in the book, and there it is. And now we're doing it in the game. Incredible parallels.
Look at that face.
I'm trying to find Filippo really quick.
A lot like a Lou Ratchet sketch. I'm liking Dante's arsenal now that we got him all powered up.
Yeah, in the book, he sees Filippo and is like, damn, what happened to you? You look like shit. And then...
Actual translation, folks.
I mean, although I come, I say not, but who art thou that hast become so squalid?
Oh shit. Oh? And then there was, am I on the Minotaur?
I believe he might be. Actually, for the Minotaur in here as well.
Or who or what is that supposed to be?
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that really lines up with this.
Yeah, we're in original content land now.
Well, yeah, currently we're about to get to this, I think.
Yeah, we just crossed sticks. We're outside Dis. Is this like when they're waiting for the angel to show up Well, they see Meg Megara and the other.
Yeah, no, I think right now they're.
Because Virgil and Dante just arrive at the gates of Dis and it's like closed, and they have to wait for a messenger from heaven to come open it up.
I think right now we're at the part where it goes, debark, here is the entrance.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, Gnarly, we haven't gotten to anyone getting heresy charges yet. I guess Hecuba did. Well, no, Hecuba wasn't.
Yeah, we're encountering heretic stuff outside of Dis, which is why it's weird to me.
We haven't seen that much heretic stuff. This all feels still kind of like wrathful stuff.
Well, the heretics are the ones put in like the iron coffins. They're just on fire. Oh, cool. My lady.
Come to this fate.
Beatrice is getting more sort of goth-style glam every time we see her. Damn, the devil's just straight up grabbing on her boobs. Fully touching them fangs.
That's how you know it's an adult video game.
Yeah, because when I'm engaging with like a romantic partner in an adult way, I just sort of like rub my hands on their chest, sort of kind of just like in a sort of grabby kind of like, not even a really grab, like a, I don't know, like I'm checking the weight of produce.
Sorcerer's Apprentice trophy, eh?
Oh, Nicolas Cage.
That's right, they did make a live action Nicolas Cage led Sorcerer's Apprentice movie, didn't they?
Well, good news for you, Gnarly. All the kids are in limbo, being babies with knife arms. They're right here, actually. Yeah, Nicolas Cage does sound pretty good. Forrest is a pretty good Cajun accent. I wonder if I could just get him to record a bunch of weird Nicolas Cage moments, Cajun style, then I could just dub them. Now, speaking of Forrest, I should check the messages.
Come on, lady. Okay.
That was a good get heels wise.
Yeah. I don't think we've quite figured out the best way to deal with these ladies yet. She's still alive? Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is not the Minotaur. I'm not sure who this is supposed to be. I just think it's like a guy.
just a demon.
Like
just
one
hell
really
monster.
huge guy they added.
He just lives in the river Styx. There we go.
Thank you, Gnarly. Thank you, Wiz. I did not take an Allegra this morning thinking I was not going to have the sneezes today, but it looks like maybe I was wrong. Yeah, the bigger the guy, the bigger the sin, man. That's definitely true. Okay, here's the thing. Since we kind of talked about asocialization and why I'm mad about it, are we allowed to talk? Can we talk about weapons finally?
Yes.
It's finally time for weapons talk. We got to do it. It's time to discuss weapons.
What asocialization aspects of weapons do you want to talk about?
Well, I just want to talk about weapons in general.
Okay.
Oh, damn! Killed the final
I
moment.
just walked into his fist.
Pop that thing. Oh, you have to do that fight again?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, one thing with weapons that's true is that it does have some asocialization stuff, and that a big part of it is people constructing their own reality to justify the horrible thing that has happened.
Yeah, that's why I like the monster reveal scene so much when she goes to the principal's house.
Yeah.
Because it's operating so much on them just wanting to play along and be normal, and like if we just abide by like the standard protocol script, like the weirdness will pass over and everything will be fine.
It's important that like that's sort of not exactly what that scene is, right? Because Marcus is like, I don't want you to come in my house.
Right.
And his partner is like, what are you talking about? Don't be a jerk.
Right. We have to be polite.
Yeah. And like, his partner's the one who does that, but Marcus is actually like very keyed into and aware of and vocal about not wanting the obviously scary woman in his house. Which I think is a good thing because she's obviously scary.
Yeah.
And he's already met her being scary once before. So like, I like that. But I really like that there's this thing where like people have talked about it either having like one really specific metaphor that's going on or no really specific metaphors. And I think the thing that's doing my thing that I think is doing is interesting is that it's like, it's playing with the idea of how nice it would be for things to have a cause.
Yeah.
Right?
I
Like,
see that.
Like, it's playing with the idea that like, it would be nice if we could explain the horrors of modern life away by just being like, there's this thing that caused this tragedy to happen in like a one-to-one.
It's also key and mentioned right at the start of the movie that like the truth of what happened is so embarrassing the adults don't really want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, it's like, well, we want a cause, but it needs to be like a narrative that's like got all these twists and turns and is big and grand and like reflective of like how intelligent we are in beating it. And it's like, no, this narrative tells us we are stupid cowards.
Right. Well, because it gives the situation does get a cause ultimately, and that's like a nice thing to fantasize about. But the cause is not entirely satisfying because it does feel kind of like out of nowhere, which I like.
Yeah. I also enjoyed like what you're pointing out, like there's multiple ways to read into it because it's so much more a story focused on kind of resolving and unlocking itself than it is trying to like service a like flatten everything to a metaphor or assembly. Like it's very plot and character forward in a way that doesn't like ignore theme, but like the movie doesn't sacrifice itself to become symbolism.
Yeah, I mean, it's very obviously preoccupied with the idea of loss and
alcoholism
and abuse, and obviously, like, the school shooting metaphor is, like, made really clear. The part with the giant gun is, like, very stupid, I think. It's, like, one of my least favorite parts of the movie, but, like...
it was less surreal. It wasn't, like, as, like, random or unfitting as I thought it was going to be, given how people are like, who put this random thing in there and he doesn't know what it means. And it's like, I don't know, I think that's like Archer, like characterizing, he's recognizing some sort of attack is occurring on his like sense of self.
Yeah, but I don't know, it was very heavy-handed and silly to me.
Yeah, if anything, you can read stuff into it in very heavy-handed ways. It's like, it's a movie called Weapons, in which the kids are being used as weapons, and in which like this man who clearly seems like, I don't know, he seems a bit more like Republican coded to me with his guns and red paint and all that, taking things into his own hands.
He's a small business owner.
Yeah, so he's going to have, like guns are going to be the way he, like, that's going to be what he sees in the world.
Well, and I think it's also, I think you kind of got to assume that it's also like a school shooting-y thing, right? Like, that, I think you have to pull that switch and then run across the bridge before it falls down.
Cool.
And you can pop some health. But yeah, I thought that was a little bit silly. But I just thought that the movie, first of all, what a gorgeous looking movie.
Yes. Zach Kreger, like, his sense of space and geography, like, he knows how to capture it in a way I think that's kind of, I don't see it in Ari Aster, and I definitely don't see it in Eggers' work. Just the way Kreger has these very natural, like, wide, long shots that are full of information, so it's like you don't notice the shots as elaborate as it is because it's not trying to show you that it's a shot. It's just like, no, that's the shot needed for this amount, like, for this storytelling moment, and you're more enraptured with like what's going on with the characters, the mechanics. You're not like, oh wow, this is good technical cinematography.
Or like when it's being flexy, it's like stuff that like works so well, like having Justine go to the liquor store and we see her walk her normal liquor store route from behind, and later we see her walk the same route but from front.
Yes.
Stuff like that is just so fun.
It makes me excited for his take on Resident Evil because the way those games, you know, especially the early ones with the fixed camera angles, use space to build tension and atmosphere and such. I think he's going to capture that with his.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely well equipped to do so, which is nice.
Oh, there's a lot of these.
Chat, has anyone seen Weapons? Do you have Weapons thoughts? I don't. My one thing is like I love the very last few minutes of that movie, but
Yes.
I don't want to get crazy mode with it. Because I don't want to ruin it for anyone who hasn't seen it, because it is such a visceral and excellent moment.
I think the way it resolves, I won't get like explicit with like the resolution, but the way it resolves, like those kids do such a horrible act.
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
Well, that's the thing. It feels very rewarding as an adult viewer, but to think about what the kids in world are then going to have like scarred in their fucking head.
No, I mean that's the thing. It's cathartic, but it's also like.
And like the adults
deeply
get their
fucked up.
catharsis at the cost of like what are the children going to have to live with for the rest of their lives?
Yeah, well, and we the audience get to be like, this rules, and then have to take a pause and be like, oh, this is like very fucked up.
Yeah, it sucks for the kids, but also it's very funny. Like that's the most like whitest kid you know punchline part when they all go after her.
Yeah, there's a couple really good sketch punchlines in that movie. Like there's one part where the camera's kind of going De Palma mode and following her around outside, and and
The opening of the trunk sound effect.
well, and then it stops moving right when she knocks over a bunch of stuff. Like the camera just freezes on her as soon as she knocks the thing over. Sorry, I'm checking a schedule thing because now I am confused.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying, again, I just want to bring up the level of progression we've done in this game. We've gotten Dante to a point where like we're really feeling powerful with his arsenal. Like these horned guys were so scary when we first started. I just want to bring this up because in comparison to Doom Eternal, I feel there is like a lead or a reason or a point to like this mechanical procession.
Yeah, no, I mean, so far it's been really effective in terms of dripping out things we can do and giving us increasing strength and also increasing challenges.
I feel what I've been hitting in Doom Eternal is a play system which is way too focused and fetishistic about punishing the player for not playing the way they should be, according to like what the devs want. Whereas this, like, you can still play with the weakest moves and theoretically like choose, like there's an element of choice and flow and decision to like where you're directing Dante and what you're doing with the moveset. Like I haven't really been using any of the magic stuff, but we have it there on the skill tree to use.
Yeah, we have not been optimizing or maximizing.
Right. But we still feel fun and escapist, whereas I've been kind of hard on Doom Eternal on the other channel because I'm wondering like are Jacob and I just not giving it its due attention, or is it asking
or is
too
it just
much?
Annoying?
Yeah. Because every encounter in that game is a bop it encounter. And even if you have fun with the first bop it encounter, you are then playing 20 other bop it encounters, and it feels so against the natural visual language of what a first-person shooter is that it's just tedious. Whereas this, like, even if it may be, you know, you can roll your eyes and be like, oh, it's a third-person action game where you're just going through hell fighting demons. It knows what it's doing, and it knows how to get to a point of mechanical flow where it feels good doing that.
Yeah. Okay. Now I want to check to see what other stuff I wrote down. I think you're right though. This is like it is a very. I mean, this genre of game is always very flowy and fun.
Right.
You just get the balance right.
The thing with Doom Eternal that I'm noticing is the way managing armor and health and like your very shallow ammo pools, like you have to restore that through combat. It is much less a game where the direct visual language of the first-person shooter matters. That's all like a disguise to not make you realize you're just babysitting about 4 meters.
Oh yeah, you said you want to talk more about the business brain stuff. I was wondering what you wanted to talk about with that, or is this too much of a fight for you to do that right in a second?
I think this fight's working. Some salts here. I need some.
Especially because Wiz presumably is still here, and
yeah, I mean, first off, just to shout it out, like if y'all haven't watched the 3-parter, do it.
Yeah, if anyone here has not watched, I assume I know
there's a good amount of overlap here.
Yeah, I know from some. Most of the people here are WizWorld folks, or folks I know from the WizWorld chat. Make up a good amount of the folks who are in the room right now. So,
the business brain stuff does strike me as Doom Eternal does strike me as a business brain game in the sense that like I feel the reason it has such elaborate games with Bop It is because it needed a bullet point on the back of the box to say featuring elaborate gameplay with lots of weapons, but it's not fun. It's just they tacked on too many features between Doom Eternal and Doom 2016 to the detriment of the game. It makes it a less funner product. But it has it has a denser amount of features. It is, you know, a bigger product. It is a, you know, in the sense that like a corporation demands the next iteration be, you know, bigger and more profitable, yada yada. It services that.
yeah, but I just want to say, I will say, before we talk about anything specific to the business brain stuff.
Yeah.
That like I got to say. If you're here and for some reason have not watched Wiz's Business Brain series,
Shit.
You gotta go do it. Like, find the time. I missed the end of the Curing Business Brain one, Wiz. So if you want to tell me what you discovered about how possible or not possible that is, please do.
I don't think it is.
I'll tell you, when I was watching it and then left,
The closest.
the point it was at when I left seemed to be not possible. But yeah, and Wiz says I wanted it to be possible, which I think maybe speaks to the fact that it turns out it's not.
Hey, if you speak to an AI, at least it will teach you how to better gaslight your employees so that you sound kinder as you do horrible shit to them.
Yeah, so as you just were not able to find any good examples of people curing themselves of business brain, ultimately. Well, those are sort of the two classic answers.
Because I think the quick rule, the maxim of like you can have business brain without capital, like you don't have to be a capitalist to have business brain, speaks to just how much it feels like, you know, libidinal, psychological. It's what gets them horny. It's beyond like the sense of like this will get me profit. It's like this will make me come.
Yeah. Whoa, different. It's like a much more detailed animation than we usually get.
Pre-rendered. Oh, hey, the apple.
No, I think it's a pomegranate.
Oh shit, is this Paradise Lost?
Well, it's
He's tempting her.
it's a pomegranate because it's Persephone and it's Demeter
the
and
seeds.
oh no, she ate it. She's committed to hell now.
The faithful has lost her faith. The incorruptible has become corrupted. The true innocent has given
Now she's like a sexy on fire lady.
A real Lilith. Damn, they rendered
They
that
really
tongue.
animated
Yeah,
those tongues.
yeah.
That sucks.
The sound effects too, that's nasty.
And then him like looking at Dante.
Yeah.
That fucking sucked. That was awesome. Dante looks down and there's a chair that has just popped up out of the ground.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I think business brain as pathology is very real shit.
All right.
You're driving this big guy.
Yeah. This is just like Elden Ring. Going to the ice area.
Oh yeah. When you take the grand lift of Rolled.
I do appreciate the flair of this.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely doing it like now we're getting into the next part of hell in like a real way.
Secure in the holy cause and beheld such a fortress. And on every hand I saw a great plain of woe and cruel torment. Bitter tombs were scattered with flame, made to glow all over, hotter than iron need be for any craft. And such dire laments issue forth as come only from those who are truly wretched, suffering, and forever lost.
Is there like a loading error or something? Should it be
It's
that
just
black?
pure darkness.
Or just darkness? Okay.
I think. Yeah, I mean, and treating it pathologically is interesting because it makes you wonder sort of, oh, this is Phlegius. Well, it's not that human beings work that way. It's the construction of social space to reward that or like assert that human beings exist that way. And to sort of deny like reassert that at the expense of alternative ways of viewing.
The denial that leads everything to rentierism.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just like that people construct this, people who want to be cruel.
I think it's also a want to be powerful or
And,
to like, you know, have a logical or rational excuse to like, oh yes,
except
well,
that
the power is the cruelty.
Yeah, the power is the cruelty, but also like, as like Frankie points out a bunch throughout.
Right, Wizworld.
A bunch throughout the thing. And I think it's a thing that it's good to keep harping on, is that like you can get power and financial status and stuff without doing the most horrible of business brain things. That like CEOs that are cool make more money or like have more successful companies than CEOs that are not. And so it's not just a pursuit of power because it is at the expense of power. It is this pursuit of, you know, the distinction Foucault would draw between power and domination. Like, you gotta squish these guys. There you go.
There we go.
It's the distinction between power and domination, right? Like power.
Right. It reminds me of the example Frankie brought up with the lemonade stand, where like, well, like the actual capitalist move would be like collude and get a racket going. Everybody profits. Oh no.
Well, like Foucault. So the distinction Foucault draws, that's an important one, is that like power kind of is always working invisibly and is always influencing people and creating these dynamics of knowledge and choice that dictate behavior and reiterate themselves and like sort of determine the parameters of possibility space for behavior and stuff like that. But like domination is the exercise of power like directly upon, if not the body, like the subject, right? Like there's obviously a power relation between, you know, slave and slave owner, but there's also a relation of domination there. I think we might need to go lower. Like lower on the rope to get below those spikes.
I think I get back on the other rope because it looks like I opened up a ledge up there.
Oh, that's maybe true. Or you climb up this one?
Oops. Oops.
Yeah, and
Yeah, the domination part is key.
yeah, and what right, and it's that they desire a power relation that is not the relation between
Oops.
the sort of neutral power relation. There's definitely some Zizek here, man, for sure.
Enjoy that, D. Hamels mammal.
That's a good way to spend your time for sure. I think what you need to do is
Because you see that up
yeah,
there.
well, get all the way down to the bottom of this one. Let me see how close you can actually get from this rope. Like, think you can actually make that jump from there, though?
Once it falls, yeah.
Or from there?
Or maybe I just climb up.
That's what I'm thinking, is you have to knock it down and climb up.
All right. Well, either way, let's...
Well, don't get bit by a venomous snake, but enjoy your time. But yeah, oh man, there's a very Zizek-y thing that is that idea of the denial of reality, which is like, it's also this like Lacan thing, right? Like, the denial of the real for the maintenance of a specific symbolic order and a specific pleasure drive, and the covering over of that real with a symbolic order. And like, I think that's like part of this too, is that like business brain creates this like idea, right? This mythology that cruelty and efficiency and all this shit are integral to the acquisition of wealth. That this ruthlessness is really valuable. What that really is an imposed symbolic reality on top of the actual truth of the world, the actual real of it, which is that power comes from a different source. Whoa, that's crazy that Sunkist is. That's like nuts.
Oh yeah, like the various farmers co-ops Frankie was talking about were very fascinating to me.
Oh, were you watching on Sunday?
Yeah. Beyond the well, I was listening to the VOD in the gym, but like beyond the like just like I'm used to like worker owned, yes, and also like customer owned, but I didn't realize like how many farmer owned co-ops there were in the U.S.
That is crazy. I can't believe the makers of my second favorite orange soda are a co-op.
I do get me some Ocean Spray cranberry juice.
Sunkist is also the orange soda, right? I'm not conflating companies.
They're not soda, it's like orange juice.
But don't they? Oh, the soda's licensed. Okay, well, it's still not as good as Orange Crush anyway. So who cares? It's the inferior orange soda. Yeah, totally.
Just drop down. Yeah.
The co-op is so powerful that the giant corporation Pepsi. I mean,
That's something I really liked about part 2 in particular is Just the way Frankie reiterates, you know, you can have markets and not have like capitalism, just like the distribution method. You know, so many of these terms are all lumped together in the American sense. Well, if you don't have capitalism, how will I buy groceries without a grocery store?
Part 2 was my favorite one.
Part 2 was my favorite. I will say that for sure.
It was also the one that I watched almost all of live, which was fun.
Yeah, oh man, how do you know you've really won the game if it's not no holds barred zero sum bullshit?
Right. I mean, that is a huge part of it. Like,
yeah, Radio Free Multiverse.
well, that is such a huge part of it that, like, if you can't codify victory against some other, then that's kind of whatever.
If it didn't take up such a valuable slot,
What's up, Arberlin? How's it going? Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
We're talking business brain again. 1205. I mean, you know, this is why I continually bug Wiz at letting me come on a Sunday to do the philosophy side of this thing, because people think capitalism is much older than it is, because people have internalized the idea of capitalism as like the inevitable outcome of history in a very
right.
in a very Foucault-y kind of society must be defended kind of way, where it's like history is constructed to justify the status quo. Right, and so capitalism.
We were always heading towards capitalism. We're just like actuating like a.
And that capitalism not only existed for longer, but its vestiges predate everything. And so the way we're here is because it's just the natural outcome of all this stuff that's existed since before anything ever happened. I can't believe. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about the end of history earlier this morning because I was thinking about how this is not super related, but. You gotta think about it. I was thinking about how, like, the centrist folks on Blue Sky and shit get really mad at people who were protesting against Palestine and stuff, right? And they blame Kamala losing on those people all the time.
Yeah.
Even though there is...
I've had personal friends I've known for a long time who just got stuck in that liberal rut and really do believe, like, oh, Palestine deserves it because they didn't vote for Kamala. And I'm just like, how do you get to that point?
So this is my sort of thing I was saying this morning, is like, even though there is a shitload, right, like an unbelievable amount of evidence about sort of why. I wonder if we should have jumped over to that other door earlier.
I was wondering that too. Where the little light was shining through?
Yeah.
You see that thing over there, right?
Yeah. I'm able to get there by climbing around.
No, I can't. This is like an invisible wall.
Yeah, maybe just going up and around will get us there, like going into the city more. But like, so they have this thing, right, where they're like, this is these people's fault or whatever.
Yes, Wizworld.
But I was thinking of that and about how what's a good way to put it? About how the end of history kind of gave people an out on like moral commitment to politics and like belief, right? That like if we found the political system that works and that we've reached the point in history where things don't actually have to change anymore because
we just need to manage the pre-existing system.
Yeah, then
really need to do much
you don't have to make the moral calculation, and people have been very willing and in fact enthusiastic to abdicate their own moral agency and moral authority because of that. It's given them an out to do so, and so now you have this class of people who are confronted with other people taking like a truly moral, like legitimately moral stance. And they're mad about it because they are being confronted with their own sort of lack of morality, their own amorality with regards to like human suffering.
Yeah, that lib person I mentioned earlier, I do remember at one point their kind of like defense of like having an overly invested emotional response to federal politics, like, well, at least I care. And it's like, well, I'm not going to get mad on Joe Biden's behalf all the time, but I think what you're doing is you're putting your protagonist brain in the wrong place as far as like projecting like politicians as the avatars of like what you think a moral actor should be.
Yeah, well, it's more than just that though. It's right. It's that they don't have to care about morality as a political position at all.
Right.
And so instead, so when they see something like the Palestine protests, which is people taking a serious moral position. Like serious moral position, when they see that, they react negatively because it shows their own sort of shallowness with regards to that.
Yes.
And so instead of acknowledging that like we actually do know why Kamala lost that election and it has very little to do with anti-Palestine protests.
Right.
And like this has been borne out through like a decent amount of research. Like they don't accept that and rather just like level all that vitriol at those protesters because it's not that they necessarily think that those people cost her the. I mean, they do think those people cost the election, but not because that they have real meaningful proof of that, but because to think otherwise would be to sort of acknowledge. Maybe try going this way actually.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is coming back around to that wall.
That other wall, yeah. I think it might.
Yeah, because the thing is, so I know neoliberalism as a term is overused and too broad and not specific.
All right.
But I think a key component of like this can go all the way back to classical liberalism is like the liberal idea is to liberate yourself from caring about the state. In ways where it's like, I think you have to get there, like right.
Okay.
But I'm trying to get at the liberation in the word liberalism in reference to liberating yourself from like worrying about the state. All you have to do is vote. You don't really have to participate in politics beyond that. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, well, in that like, the classic liberalism thing I think was called that largely because
liberating markets from like
not regulation
or individuals to do free enterprise.
Yeah, and to isolate from like the sovereign, right?
Mm-hmm. Then my kind of gross understanding what the neoliberalism difference is it's corporate.
Well, the neoliberalism thing is like the idea that it's sort of to use one of like the most annoying phrases that exist in the world. It's sort of the socially liberal, fiscally conservative position.
Right.
Where like we can determine
the markets
good social
will
behavior,
game out morality. Yeah.
Well, we can determine good social behavior collectively or whatever, but that the markets are going to be the thing that solves those problems.
Mm-hmm. The Starbucks donating.
Yeah, the classic Zizek.
Yeah.
The Starbucks cup, all that stuff. Oh, I think you scrolled up. But yeah, RFM, I think that's totally right. Like, the function of the left is to just give to give a moral character to stuff for people to engage in. But like they aren't invested in the value of being moral agents, like the your various centrists and shit. That's not really a thing about which they give a shit. They just want to be able to talk about what moral positions exist. And yeah, I mean, the Biden thing is interesting because I was actually arguing with someone about this on Blue Sky earlier. Because, like, Biden, like, obviously, like, look, I'm not a big Biden stan. You'll be shocked to learn.
Maybe the other way was the non-critical way?
You'll be shocked to learn I'm not the biggest Biden stan on earth, but he actually did pass a lot of really good stuff.
I thought it was cool that he pulled out of Afghanistan.
Yeah, he did a lot of cool stuff in the first 2 years of his presidency. And then can we not go back? Fuck this. But yeah, he did a lot of cool stuff at the beginning of his presidency, but then
Really?
really backed off on in the second 2 years. And
After October 7th, he's...
I mean, October 7th is bad, but like, no, I don't think you did. I'm just saying that I think there's this weird thing where, like...
So the most
Where,
lived
like,
up
sort
people
of-
I know are still complaining about Jake Tapper's, still defending Biden when he's not president for things that aren't even really, like, in relation to current presidential politics.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that, like, there were a huge number of failures to sustain the gains that were made, which I think is, like, you know, a kind of catastrophic error. Like, you should want to sustain the gains you make. Oh, I thought X means you climb faster.
R1.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember after winning Georgia so closely, seemed to just throw that away.
Well, not just that, but like, I mean, the thing I talk about all the time is the child tax credit, right? Like, they had effectively undone child poverty, or like a huge amount of it in the U.S., and then Congress just decided that they weren't going to do that no more. And Biden didn't really push back on that as nearly as strong a way as he could have.
We beat Medicare.
Yeah, I hate the Pope and the Church. I'm absolving him. I think it was good that he was at war with them. But yeah, and so what ends up happening is we get this thing that's really stupid, I think, where people characterize the Biden admin as dedicated to a sort of non-action.
Working ceaselessly.
Well, it's both, right? It's dedicated to a sort of non-action, but that's not true. It did a bunch of really kind of hugely significant actions, but no desire to maintain the results of those actions, no commitment to the moral principles that would drive one to do those things. And I think that's like the fascinating element of the Biden conversation in general, and of like what I'm saying, the sort of like politics of the end of history in general, is that
yes, Wiz.
yeah, I mean,
To me,
history will evaluate that particular claim. I think it's hard to argue with right now, although I do sincerely think that like the child tax credit was like an unbelievable piece of policy that like changed the lives of a lot of people, and that willingly letting it come undone was like a failure of sort of like a kind of inconceivable proportions.
Now we just don't have now we don't have a Department of Public Education.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And that's not great. Yeah, I mean, combative gerrymandering does seem to signify that the union is going to fall apart in the not too distant future.
Soft succession.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a secession indicator, one might say. But yeah, I think that they had, for about 2 years, less than 2 years, maybe 18 months, were doing the beginnings of what could be described as legitimately transformative policy, and then they decided to just sort of stop, which is, to me, a weird choice. And then everyone's like, why did these people not vote for Kamala? And it's like, well, I think this is actually a very answerable question.
There's a lot of data out there we can look at.
It has a lot to do with the part where everyone's lives improved, and then people said, do you like that? And they said yes. And then they said, well, you can't have it anymore. Your improved life is over, and we're going back to the bad stuff, and that's the deal, and you're gonna like it. And I think that probably had a lot more to do with them losing that election than me and my friends being at the UT quad getting arrested for telling people to stop doing a genocide. What up, a ghost bro? We're sitting. Actually, we're doing a lot of absolving today.
We're being very nice to people.
Yeah, we're absolving all kinds of guys today. But we did just watch. You missed seeing the devil graphically tongue kiss our wife.
Yeah.
Like really graphically.
They like really spend some time getting those tongues to twist.
It was really gross. I did not like it at all. But they put it in the game, and that's one thing you can't take away from them.
When are we gonna see the dude who we tell his son is alive?
Oh yeah, I wonder if we do get to do that. That'd be fun.
I do want to say that of the cantos so far, I think once they get to this is when the poem really gets kind of interesting for me with like the mechanized torture boxes that people are in, and you start getting into like this hell is industry without like point thing. We watched Mad God this weekend, and I really love in Mad God how so much of it is like a machine pumping stuff. You never see what these machines are making, but it's more that these machines are here for people to fall into the cogs of and get crushed up and die in, and just how aimless and invaluable life is in the hell gears.
Yes. It's a lot of senseless.
It's a factory where chopped limbs is the product.
I guess we go this way. I could really use that health.
Ultra Crobcast, yes. Oh, you mean Planned Parenthood? Abortions made daily.
Yeah, I love film.
Yeah, but haha gnarly, have you seen Gavin Newsom's posts? In 2028, we're all still gonna be caring about like the Twitter post, right? I guess we're just assuming Trump's running a third term?
It's going to be awe-inspiring how the Democrats do nothing about that.
Right.
If there's ever going to be a thing that's going to like truly shatter sort of everyone's understanding of how politics work, it's really going to be when he's like, I'm running for a third term, and no one tries to stop it. I don't know, gnarly. I'm pretty good at writing comedy, so I don't think I agree with that assessment.
Right.
But it is hard.
I think you were on the right way. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to get to that. I'm trying to get to that chest. I don't see how I get there.
You can't even name a comedy, Lux.
How about the damn divine comedy, Inferno, Purgatorio, Paradiso, gnarly? How about that one? How about that wonderful work? Yeah, I can't wait for the Hakeem Jeffries strongly worded letter that's like, the Democratic Party strongly recommends that we not have a third Trump election. Oh, he's gonna say nuts. He's gonna say nuts. He's gonna say nuts. He's gonna say nuts. I know he's gonna say it. Yeah! Yeah! Sorry, I cheered over Virgil.
Ghost bro getting gnarly. Gnarly getting ghosty. Keep talking.
I want to see what's going on. I want to get to the... I want to figure out how to get fucking any of the secret places we sort of jumped over that we didn't get this time. All of a sudden, this game is like way more secret-y than it was before we got to this.
I think did you exhaust all the Virgil talk? Also, we have a lot of points if you want to buy stuff.
He's gone.
Okay.
Want to buy stuff? I gotta pee.
Go for it. Turn that projectile.
I drank a big can of Arizona iced tea before I came over.
You want to pull the mic off yourself?
Yeah, oh, I mean, I could go either way, but I feel like people probably don't need to hear me pee.
Nope, that's premium content they gotta pay for.
Yeah, that's Patreon stuff.
We are now upgrading our dudes. Welcome to hell again. Shit, oh yes, you know I missed that Shin Megami Tensei, gnarly. Haha, gnarly. Well, I've been playing Doom Eternal on Mondays and Thursdays, and that is very much a spiritual successor to the Wrath Rage edgelord masculine power fantasy wrapped in video game form. Okay, I want these skills. Well, that's the thing, gnarly. I think Doom 2016 is a good little nostalgia trip. Like, remember old school shooters? Do you remember Doom? Like, Doom 2016 is interesting that way. Doom Eternal is lies. Doom Eternal is like a weird... It's a weird corporate Frankenstein of ideas that you would think would be in a video game, like continues and jumps and coin collecting and extra lives. Dressed up in Doom's skin. This whole summer we've been playing a lot of fan-made Doom WADs and like top-rated mods and campaigns from the Doom community that have been made over the years by fans for fans. You know, getting communist with our Doom, checking out what the Doom community's been doing, and like at the end of this run, we're playing this corporate Doom product that's just like, I don't know why they felt the need to be like, remember Super Mario Brothers? Remember platforming? It's very much trying to bank on a sense of nostalgia I don't hold for Doom. Oh, Army of Two is a good call. I'll have to pocket that for a potential down the line stream. But yeah, Asura's Wrath, now that you bring it up, I'd never played that, but was curious about it. Lux, did you ever play Asura's Wrath?
Like what?
Asura's Wrath?
Oh yeah. I think it was pretty fun. No, okay, I assume you talked about Shammy's question about the edgelord era.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, part of me thinks that it could be fun to explore that, but like, we do have...
Also say Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah, I did say Shin Megami Tensei, which is crazy. That's truly crazy work.
Wait, what? Okay.
Shishin on my Megami till I Tensei. I think that also actually qualifies as crazy work. Shammy, I think those are both. But we have a plan for what we want to do. The problem, such as it is that, thank you, is that we don't, what's a good way to put this? Like, the plan is that this is very fun. You gotta, I think you gotta throw that thing on top of the, like, take it from turn around, there's a health behind you. Is that this is very fun, And obviously, like, exploring the edgelord, broed out, angry dad, Uncle Core games of the 2010s.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, my lav. I forgot. Sorry, I went to the toilet and I forgot to put my lav back on. Because I didn't want you guys to hear me pee. Give me 1 second. Because the me using the toilet, as Henry said, is premium content or Patreon content. Premium content. There we go. That better? I think you need to throw the. I think you need to throw the middle one, that thing, onto that one. And you push it in there. No, you throw it in there. It has to get all the way in. Yeah, and then. Well, you can do faster than that, but yeah. Okay, well, that worked.
Oh, okay.
It actually stands for a smell of my rear. It's Italian. It's from Italy. But yeah, so we have some ideas what we want to do after this and after SMT. Because we want to get back to SMT because, like, I do want to at least see.
I want to beat SMT.
Yeah, I want to see the end, and I want to get through some of the ideas about community construction and power projection and power production that game gets into, which I swear it does, even if I thought I got into it about 30 hours earlier than it actually does. But that being said, we had some ideas for what to do after that. Although, and a lot of those ideas are, I think, cool and have a lot of books attached to them, which is the thing we like. But there's definitely something very interesting about sort of deep diving the Mad Dad.
7th gen Mad Dad games.
The 7th gen Mad Dad games, like the Angry Stepbrother video games.
Army of Two, Kane and Lynch.
Yeah, I mean, Wrath of Asura. Like, all that stuff.
Hey, hey, hey. You know what? Let's continue being generous.
Yeah, Ride to Hell. This guy was an Epicurean. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with the Shin Megami Tensei experiment, is that the concept of playing through that and sussing out the thematics is very fun. But obviously, it's taken us a long time. Although, I will say, as it's gone on and our ability to be good at it has deteriorated accordingly.
Oh, we're doing better.
Yeah, we're doing better, but the chat has gotten to all-time levels of interesting, while we're sort of like, what the fuck are we doing here? And that's been very fun.
Yeah. I do think, too, in playing it, this is something I've been questioning time investment. Like, is this game asking too much of me? Is this game asking... Doom Eternals drive me crazy because it makes me feel like, I guess, Alan Moore, in the sense where I'm like, I don't want a 16-year-old to play this game because they're going to play it and it's going to rob them of their time and make them think this is a good time investment of the hobby. I don't know, I feel like a stodgy old man with like what that game's asking me to invest in it, and I'm like, am I just not giving it the good faith it deserves? But then I play this, or I think of SMT, or other stuff we've been playing. Lux, have you played Sekiro Shadows Die Twice?
Yes.
Okay, so the way Sekiro Shadows...
I'm really bad at that game, though.
Yeah, the way Sekiro Shadows Die Twice asks you to invest heavily in learning how its dance moves work, because it is a dance. Ultimately serves this idea, this story servicing about autonomy. A big part of Sekiro's story is determining like who are you going to follow or who are you going to serve, and kind of like the genius stroke is the way the Shura ending, the secret ending, the hardest ending, literally cuts the game in half mechanically. Like you shortcut it. but also on a thematic level, it's the answer to like, I don't choose any of these choices, my master. I'm going to do my own thing now and exit this game early. The way it's working on a story level to mine that idea through the mechanics of the game and the interactions of the game, like there's a payoff to the investment and the mindset it's trying to get you in, and I just don't feel that way with Doom Eternal. Like learning those infinite bop it patterns is not making a larger point about like the futility of violence or what it means to like be a lord of hell or anything like that. At least not yet. And I don't trust the game to do anything with it besides by the end of the run I'm just gonna be like, well, I know how to do those patterns real nice like now.
Yeah, it's what are we
doing here?
What happens when you pull that guy?
And see, like, this isn't making a grand, like, ludo-narratively harmonious, like, statement, but it's also not asking so much of me as to, like, me question, like, why do I have to learn this combat? Because, like, the combat's fun. I think I have to put the thing under it. Or do I jump here, jump here?
Cold Fear. I never played that, but I heard it was go that way. What's over there? Nothing?
What's over here? This is the way I just opened up. There's no angle. Okay, so we raise the thing.
Do we have to do that again?
Do I have to kick this somewhere? Under something? Over something? I can't drag it back this way. This is where I came from, though. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think what we might do next is try to, because I don't think this gives you any access aside from that door is.
Yeah, it just shows you the door. He got his head in the sunlight, and that hurt. Okay, there's a rope over there.
I think the next couple ideas are to do the rest of SMT and then do a Dark Souls and Elden Ring run and go pretty book heavy. That's so funny. I love when a game just totally stops doing the thing it's supposed to do. That sucks. I mean, it's very funny from an outside perspective, but it sucks for, you know, wanting to play the game.
No, this is where I came from. Unless I climb back up?
Did you try to climb back up and seeing if there's something that opens something that way?
Nah, I don't think so.
But yeah, so we were thinking about doing Dark Souls 1, 2, 3 and Elden Ring. Arguably maybe just skipping straight to Elden Ring.
Maybe we should just do Demon Souls and Elden Ring.
Maybe just Demon Souls, maybe just Kingsfield and Elden Ring. Demon Souls is really cool though. We could do the remaster too.
I would honestly want to play the PS3 version just because I like the HUD more on the PS3 one.
Word.
And we have gone through all the trouble of figuring out how to stream PS3 games.
That is true. Now we do have the technology.
The remaster might open us to more like multiplayer shenanigans though, as far as getting invaded or co-oping with folks.
Kingsfield, I think we should play Kingsfield.
I do want to play Kingsfield. I haven't played Kingsfield, so it'd be funner to do that than replay a Souls game, even though I love replaying them Souls games.
It might be fun to do Kingsfield, and then either Demon Souls or go straight to Elden Ring. I want to do Elden Ring so bad because I think that each
you have a pretty solid...
Each Great Rune and sort of Great Rune bad guy, I think, has a
corresponding theorist.
A coherent sort of position attached to it that plays nicely with various philosophers that I like, and that we could do a sort of let's do the beginning, and we'll talk about Godric and Godfrey and those who live in death, and you know,
wait, did that do something?
Some like weird Schopenhauer-y stuff.
Schopenhauer.
Try punching that wall. That wall is punchable.
This one?
Yeah. Nope. What the fuck are we doing here?
Did I break a chain when I did that is my question. So...
Oh, what's that do? Nothing?
Nothing.
Cool. But yeah, so the idea would be...
Yeah, I've seen some good work on that front of Ghost Bro.
Yeah, the idea would be to like just do those yeah, the Bloodborne emulators are real. I have some friends who play it that way. They're wild.
Okay, don't...
I dropped the two I wanted the most.
We raise that. Is there something we're supposed to be jumping on over here? Jumping off of?
Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me chill around for a sec. I mean, that'd be it. But I am like, now that you've mentioned it, Shammy, like, getting into some of the, like, just going hard body, angry uncle, stepbrother core, and making that what we're doing for a while is kind of interesting, because this does, like, this game and God of War, obviously, we'd have to play, and shit like that does.
It'd be cool because I honestly avoided that aspect of the, I love the character action genre, but like, I was definitely a snob about it in terms of I preferred Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden. Like, for the longest time, I was just like, there's no game better than Ninja Gaiden Black or Devil May Cry 3 in the genre.
Yeah, it does, because these do explore, like, a weird kind of gamer masculinity.
Yeah, so I'd be interested to do that because I do feel like part of why I avoided some of these is because the Western ones or the American ones felt a bit more juvenile, clunky, unsophisticated. I mean, I know Devil May Cry 3 has all kinds of salacious, like, campy action. Ninja Gaiden Black has Rachel, who's just like, her tits are constantly like just like commanding the camera. But I don't know, something about feeling like the mechanical priority there versus these American ones that are trying to be more like huge blockbuster movies beyond just like mechanical complexity.
I'm seeing how far back I can go and if there's like any secret that, or any like...
Because I'm like, oh yeah, there's so many of these that weren't Bayonetta and Vanquish and God Hand. This, I think you just jump when the thing's not blowing. Yeah. No?
No. You have to climb it from the other
Does that
side.
switch right there do anything?
I don't know, we already flipped that switch.
Because I do think
we've been
there
this
is
way already.
something fundamentally...
But there's like something, it speaks to like a really dumb form of like masculine identity from the 2000s through 2010s.
Yeah.
That is like very funny to explore to me and is interesting. And does like maybe speak to...
I think it's reflective in a way too of like the rise of like seeing like the end of the war, the 2008, 2009 sort of end of the Bush era conception of like what warfare was and what American foreign policy really was affecting the way like you know, American masculinity was being lensed. I think at the beginning of the Bush era, you still had a sort of classic cowboy like, I'm going to be a good soldier and fight the good war. I think by the end of that, like end of the Bush era, into the Obama era, it's less that like there are good soldiers. It becomes more that war is there all the time. Like, war is not something good people elect to do. It becomes war is a constant state, to speak of like end of history stuff.
Yeah.
And so you just
the Paul Virilio Total War.
Yeah, and so you just end up with a type of masculinity where instead of like it being like an individualist like cowboy coming to like do anything they can do with law and order, you just you know what, war sucks, but you got to do it.
Well, and that it's inevitable.
Yeah, like Dante here being a crusader, he's a vet. He did horrible things, and I mean, we're going through hell because that's just, you know, you soldier on. You find out what we're supposed to be doing yet?
Nope. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the puritanical stuff right now is really the nightmare. But shouts out to James Dobson dying.
Except this time everyone's poor and everything about America is more fragile. Yeah. Won't somebody please think of the forgotten man? Can you go up? Is there like an alternative upwards route? No?
Nope.
I too need to take a restroom break while you wander.
Yeah, well, it's like, it is, to Liz's point, like,
Yeah, you come back home at the end of the invasion of Iraq and you're just like, to what point was I fighting any of this? Being in El Paso with Fort Bliss right there, actually a lot of my more like liberal history teachers were vets who kind of like were, you know, felt that way, where it's like you come back and you're like, well, wait, what was this for?
when I was younger, because I was very Tolkien-pilled as a boy, I would get the Two Towers, the Twin Towers mixed up when talking all the time. Gang, I think I might be a genius. Unlearned and unearned RFM, to be fair, those are both accurate. Well, the problem with the Reagan era comp, gnarly, the problem with that is that there's no longer an ideological opposite, right? Like the Reagan comp, this is the part of the Reagan era that made sense. I mean, obviously it was very bad, but that was like conceptually legible, is that there was an ideological opposition, right? There was the Soviet Union. I did it! I'm the best! I'm the greatest video games of all time! Whoop, 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 whoop. That was such a stupid puzzle. But yeah, there was an ideological opposition, right? So like, there was an illusory, if illusory, at least coherent conception of that politics and the necessary social sacrifice and immiseration as toward an end. Like there was like the idea that if he, but like Muslims aren't an ideological difference, right? That's a question of race. And yeah, no, the designers of hell are pissed that we're doing the thing we're doing. Like the Muslims fill a space of like in other whose role is necessary to justify this stuff or whatever, like on like an ideological or like on like a level of id. But yeah, but even woke isn't really an equivalent, right? It's not like an alternative political system. Like these are all things that like exist to motivate a sort of subconscious or preconscious like cultural rage within the population, but they aren't like unifying political objectives in the way that the USSR at least theoretically could have been. Like China could be that, except that the things we're doing aren't actually in opposition to like Chinese cultural dominance, right? They're actually kind of a piece with Chinese cultural dominance.
I upgraded the blue magic if you want to use that.
I did that too. Oh, you mean this one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Although
these guys
you just,
are
like ran into a wall with that. It did freeze them.
Yeah, right now I think these guys are like hard to magic, so I have to get rid of it.
I think yeah. You want to take out the leader first.
Yeah, right. Well, exactly. Like none of it's really at odds, but like during the Reagan era, there was, I think, there was at least like an argument that that there was like a sort of necessary conflict that was like determinative and gave sort of a telos to a lot of the political and social choice making and sacrifice that was going on. Whereas now, what we're dealing with is immiseration that is explicitly like on the label for the benefit of rich people to be more rich. And that's the good thing we are all rooting for. Like that's the ideology at play here, is like a purely oligarchic
There's not like a
system.
Christian nuclear family to defend. There's Google.
And there's not like the United States as an ideological representation against you know, the big bad Soviets or whatever.
There's shakes. There's Steak Shack.
There's just like this internal immiseration for basically no one's sake.
Right.
And that's like, and there's no sense, and even worse, like kind of the real tragedy, RFM, IMO, is that increasingly there's no social demand that there should be one of those. Like there's no social demand that that things exist to, like there's no,
I think it's, yeah.
there's no social demand that these things happen for the benefit of everyone, or benefit of like anyone. Like it's just calmly accepted that it doesn't.
It's just like the state of nature that you are to serve JCPenney.
Yeah, that's just the way the world is now. And that's like the really kind of depressing.
I think this is part of why we always tell people to do little art projects with friends and communities. Exercise your sense of creative capacity, even if it's not like a macro political, like you're seizing control of like a major system. You're exercising your sense of autonomy and being able to do things in the material world with your hands.
Oh yeah, I mean that's sort of why Aristotle and Marx talk about why, ooh, an Epicurean seal, I love.
Nice. But yeah, that's why we had our friend
recipes.
Serge on earlier this summer to show us how to actually build Doom levels during the Summer of Doom. Also, again, just comparing corporate and community Doom as we go through Eternal with all those WADs on the other channel. Like, there's so many fun things that Phil made because it was genuinely like somebody wanted to share this idea they had for like a thing they built in Doom Builder. Whereas playing Doom Eternal, it's like this felt like it was made to fill off bullet points so that there could be a package on the shelf that said Doom that was put out by a corporation so that it could sell for the quarter, and that on the bullet points on the back of that box it said this is a shooter, there are weapons, intense gameplay, go for it. It looks like a video game. It feels so much like an object you would see kids playing in a movie that wants an approximation of what a video game is. It speaks to me of like a satanic sense in the Miltonian sense of nostalgia for wanting the form to appear without the substance. You need a video game this quarter. You need a digital blip blop to put on the screen. So here we go.
Yeah, and RFM, to that thing, when I say demand, I don't mean desire for, like in like the economic sense. because there's definitely is that. There definitely is like a social desire for that kind of thing. I mean, like a demand, as in like a political demand, like we demand that this happen. Oh, come on.
Where are the pitchforks?
Like there is no rage or like forceful demand in that sense.
Am I going backwards?
No, I got you to the part you need to be. You're going the right way.
Okay.
You gotta go in there, and then you just gotta do that dumb jumping puzzle I was just doing and did not jump off a cliff. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm with you there, Ghost Bro.
Yeah, I think the desire for that stuff exists, and I think that part of the reason people are checked out on it, and part of the reason why there is, like I'm saying, no like forceful demand and like the, I forget which philosopher talks about. You have to wait for dealer.
Okay. There's no ledge grab, is there?
Yeah, which not on that one. There are ledge grabs sometimes, but not. There's spikes on the wall there.
Okay.
I forget the philosopher who talks about politics as demand, and maybe it's Marcuse or something. But like, there's none of that, and part of the reason there's none of that is because the determination to make such a thing is so, like you're saying, AGB, so you gotta jump. Oh, you waited too long. I gotta wait for it to. It's gonna take a while for it to come back.
Yeah.
You might just have to eat the fire a little bit on that one. It won't kill you. You have to wait for it until it's all the way down. Then once it's down, you have to jump from the one you're on to the one on the side.
Yeah, get on that ledge.
Yeah, you do that, and then you have to, there's another one on the far left ledge, then you have to jump to the top. I just got confused over where they were. Oh,
this is lining up just right.
yeah, and then you just double jump over to that one. And then you take that one to the far right, to the chest and the Judas coin. But yeah, I think a big part of why there is like less and less organized demand in like the political or philosophical sense is that those things are met so obviously with disdain and with systematic repression. Like that is demotivating. Like
it's too much work.
Is it? Yeah, I mean, it's too much work, but it's also just like, you know, I mean, this was, you know, the struggle of, not to conflate every social justice movement, but like a big part of the civil rights movement was white liberals being like, this sucks. Mm-hmm. And then people having to push back through that.
Yeah.
And we've seen that with like the Palestine stuff too. And like, that's just like an inevitable thing. But it also just feels like now there is like increasingly little, then you want to go over there, of a conceptual idea that like things should get better for everyone. I punished him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like just we need more punishment at this point.
I just don't like Farinata. I'm basically any Florentine I'm punishing, because...
We do need more punishment at this point, though.
Yeah, that's true, but I'm just punishing Florentines because they're mean to us.
Gotcha.
And so they deserve bad things. But yeah, that lack of politicized demand is like definitely in part due to that's the one you want.
Got distracted by the message for a moment.
Ammonius Arcanus LLC cannot be liable for any manufacturing defects found in PJP plus 6-year drugs upon receipt. Ammonius Arcanus LLC holds the rights to any and all Arcana which is produced as a byproduct of consumption of PJP plus via 6-year jugs. For more information, consult your primary cultist. If you experience a rash, please contact emergency services for immediate treatment. That sounds right. It's important that people like Wiz have those things in place to protect themselves against sort of, against people who would, I think you have to go around.
I was like, do I climb up that thing? No.
We love to catch the Holy Spirit in order to write legal protections for our friend Wiz. That's sort of the best feeling there is.
We love that Holy Spirit, don't we, folks?
We love the Holy Spirit.
I suspect there's a boss behind this door.
That would make sense. It might be Medusa. It might be the one you've been waiting for. I like that there's a statue of Epictetus.
He's the one that threw himself in the volcano?
No, Epictetus is like the...
No, that's Implodion, right? Or
Yeah. Oh, sorry, not Epictetus. I think it was Epicurus. Or no, Epictetus, who did the Epicurean stuff.
Empedocles is who I'm thinking of.
Who liked to eat food and thought that the soul resided purely in the body, and he was a heretic because he was like, the soul resides in the body, so when you die, it goes away. And then the Christians were like, or Dante's like, no, that's not true. The soul is ineffable and it lasts forever.
But those who believe the soul died with the body, that's why they're stuck in graves.
That's why they go to, yeah.
You're buried with your soul.
1,000's not going to get us anything because we're in the two. Yeah, so you can either, well, you can go that way or you can go down that way.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. Getting stuff. Frederick's Ring.
What's that do?
Yeah. Epicurus, Epicles, Epic Mealtime. Sham, you crazy for this one.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, you wrote the Enchiridion.
And you get level 5 holy.
Was big on like materialism and the ability to influence events around you. Like believed in the agency of the body and the individual person as actors, which was, you know, controversial at the time, because it meant that, you know, God or whatever wasn't the only game in town as far as moral choice making. Oh wait, try climbing down.
Nope.
You know, people didn't like the idea that someone other than God might be determinative of their fate. That was something they were not a fan of hearing about. Oh, you rushed it. Yeah, people, and he is a big figure in Dante's personal philosophy of stuff. And because like in Dante's other work, he shows up as like an important philosophical figure, but in this, he's really representative of a very specific type of heresy, which is, like I was saying, the heretical position that you have some degree of control over your own life and the things that happen to you.
That was a weird one.
You just jumped off the side before you.
Yeah. But yeah,
I think Epictetus is right. That sort of when you do stuff,
you're doing it.
You're doing it, and it influences your life, and things that happen are sort of due to your ability to be a person and do those things. I mean, yeah, they're. Hey, Wiz, I know that's right. Man, Titus is one of the most distressing ways to describe breasts I've ever heard of. Let me see them Titus, he says.
Like a veterinarian.
Let me see them Titus, says Mingus Reedus, the son of Norman Reedus, who was recently in trouble. It's crazy that Norman Reedus' son is named Mingus.
Why would you do that to your kid?
I don't know. I love Titus and FF10.
Within this remaining cavern, there are 3 more souls, one below another, each full of accursed spirits.
I think you're right, King of Mystery. I think that like an independent consultant should show up, and like if the name you give your kid is too terrible, they get to veto. Like if you name your kid Trinity but spell it Triniteigh, then like you should have to have a guy come and be like, no.
Every sin begins hatred in heaven and fraud, because it is peculiar to man, is the most displeasing to God. Therefore the fraudulent, and then the traitors, are the lowest.
The fraudulent, in Dante's sense, it's not just like, oh, you lied to me about how much the bill was, but like you knowingly led me on like the straight path. Like you took me away from God knowingly, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the rhyming shit or like the wordplay last names is really tough.
Which is less offending, unlike the sins of malice.
Exactly though, man.
Stop all juniors.
Yes. Oh, if a kid gets made fun of for their name, they should be able to sue their parents. Boxsucker named after the composer, right? You just spelled it wrong.
Boxsucker?
I mean, I am a big proponent of the name of the year bracket and looking at r/baby names to learn what people are up to.
Yeah, I see. I can't wait to encounter a
on-
Sephiroth in the wild.
On the cutting edge of baby name tech, and people are really doing some fucked up stuff. Like
what?
I mean, like the Trinity joke I made is a real one. Well, that's a real name I heard or I saw was Trinity spelled Triniteigh.
Violence. Okay.
Oh, they're all eating themselves.
That's so cool. Do I want to? Yeah.
That means our boy Ugolino might be here. Is this him? No, it's Attila the Hun.
Wow. I was gonna ask if we were gonna encounter as a boss or anything later, but no, he's just here. I'm trying to build up my holy, so I'm gonna resolve him.
Wow, absolving Attila the Hun of his sins. Radical position, Henry. Mm-hmm. Taking
There we go. That's what I wanted.
the truly radical restorative justice position. Even Attila the Hun can be redeemed. Attila the Sun. Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's the one I wanted. Do I want the other one, or do I just want the mana regeneration one?
I mean, that's going with a hard magic build, is what you've just put together. Which isn't bad, but...
Doing bad in what sense?
It's not bad.
Oh, okay.
It's just difference we've been going very... Oh, wait,
Yeah,
get that,
very scythe heavy.
get that chest.
Oh, yeah.
There's a fountain and a weird guy.
Getting them Judas coins.
Oh,
That's nice. We need unholy, so we better start punishing people. See, there's things I want to work towards. There's interest I have in mechanically investing in this character. King of Mystery knows aplenty how much I've been complaining about Doom Eternal not filling the case. I guess, like, to get to the masculinity of it all, too, I very much find myself asking while playing Doom Eternal, like, is this what dudes want to feel? Is this power? Does this is this power fantasy? Like, the amount of, like, the amount of limitations imposed by that game on, like, what its conception of fun is, I'm just really like, is this, like, power fantasy to someone? Because it looks like power fantasy, but it doesn't play like it. This still plays like power fantasy.
This is big time power fantasy
Yeah.
stuff. You're gonna want to smash those rocks.
This is the best 3D Castlevania game, is what I've been feeling.
So far.
Do I just...
You gotta wind him up and let him go again, I think. And do it again.
Cool. Like, the walking to the walls of Dis was a nice little cinematic, games aspiring to be, movies set piece that I really liked.
Yeah.
It didn't overstay its welcome. This little dynamic Dutch angle's cool.
How many times did we do this? And at what point do we say, maybe we don't have to do this? Oh, there we go.
I think that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did. It was pretty ludically signaled that that was the way to go. It was just like, God damn, how am I going to do this? Yeah,
this is
let's
awesome.
go.
Yeah. Rivers of Blood.
We have like an hour until Forrest is coming to grab me. An hour and change.
Okay, cool.
And which I'm only saying because maybe we'll get to meet my friend Gary on.
In violence, wounds and death are inflicted against one's neighbors. This ring torments those who murder and plunder.
The Violent.
Every soul who wrongfully smites another.
I love to see a statue with big honkin' Titas.
What is their punishment? Within this river are those tyrants aptly punished in
Some of the contrapasso was like really great, like the heretics who like are entombed with their, entombed in the burning coffins because their spirits are like impoverished and like they believe that the spirit dies with the body, so
The spirit stuck with the body.
they let the spirit be stuck with the body to die in hell. And like that's cool. And then some of them are so fucking goofy and it's like these guys got blood everywhere because of their murdering. So they're
Yeah.
covered in blood forever.
I do think the coffin torture in particular strikes me as like a bit more horrific than entertaining. Like, the whole poem's entertaining, but like the coffin torture when they first get to Dis feels like markedly horror in a way a lot of the other stuff doesn't.
Yeah, I mean the suicide trees
Suicide Trees is another good one.
are really
yeah.
good. The Simoniacs, Archie, punish him. Oh, you just got his wings
I
off.
just cut
The Simoniacs being burned upside down with their feet on fire because of their like,
Yeah.
what's it called? Their like backwards orientation towards God is very cool.
Yeah, instead of the glory going to God, like they're using God to like get themselves like personal gain.
Yeah. Oh, you absolved him. You need to punish him.
Right, we need Unholy next.
And that's why this video game is good, because you get to say things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Bulletstorm. I Sham, I love Bulletstorm.
I'm not familiar with Bulletstorm.
Bulletstorm rocks, dude.
Where am I going? Where am I jumping? Where am I
I
jumping?
think you need to jump off that side, off that ledge, and then hit that hook, yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. Oh no, I don't like that.
Well, you can use that hook to... Well, you can use your L1R1 to get extra strong. Then when the fire comes out, you can jump on that hook to avoid it. I go jump on the hook. All right, let me try it.
Yeah.
The gun trick mechanics are so cool. It's so fun to shoot a sniper rifle and then guide the bullet and then have the bullet like go down a guy's like into a guy's nuts, and the game is like, damn, you hit him in the balls. Well, I didn't make it? That's crazy. Yeah, go for it.
Maybe you don't jump back.
You have to, I feel like that's gotta be the mechanic here. Everything about this is screaming, that's the deal.
Like,
I don't remember if the game actually said that, if you just got an achievement for it, but like if you do that, you do get at least a Chivo for sniper guiding a bullet into someone's balls, and it rules. I don't remember Bulletstorm having as much sort of set, like annoying epic comedy stuff as Borderlands. I remember its comedy drawing a lot more from like the over-the-top broiness of it, but I could be totally wrong because I have not played that game since like 2010 or 11 or whatever, like when it first came out. R2. You can actually R2 them both.
oh, you're ready to die.
Square. Oh, iframes. Yes!
Yep. Good character action game.
Yeah, I love being able to use iframes to avoid damage. I love being able to sort of, the physics of the video game make it so that I'm invincible.
Come on. Why is I'm not? Okay. There we go. There we go again.
Well, now it's a little, yeah, and then you're on his back, so that makes sense. Get that health, my man. Gotta be getting that. Now you can go down.
Oh.
You get to the other one? Yeah, you can. Oh, dope!
Where do I respawn? Let's see. If I respawn, okay.
Oh yeah, man, it is a little reminiscent of that wonderful moment of Sandman.
Oh yeah. Opening of Soul Reaver. Alright. Double jump with conviction. Is this the right way? I thought this was going to be the secret way given the camera angle.
Yeah,
also,
this is the secret way. But we just get the Judas coin and a bunch of money.
nothing else over that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Go for it, dude.
This is so Castlevania.
There's something over to your left.
Yeah, I think I want to get on top of that last one.
I mean,
right?
this got to be the suicide forest.
Yeah, what's so special about Suicide Land?
Do you know the suicide trees? So people who commit suicide become trees, and every time part of them breaks, it hurts.
That's also how they can talk, though.
Yeah.
That's the only way they can talk. So am I going to be breaking trees here?
Wait, what's Holy Protection do? Do we have that?
Which one?
Go over? Yeah, we have it.
Yeah. It's like just less damage.
Oh man, that's very funny. That's a classic problem of modern television production stuff.
What?
That Netflix not auto playing will confuse people enough that they'll be like, oh, I guess the show's over. Oh, we're just short of anything.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk to Jorge. Let's talk to
The wood of the suicides. We're kind of getting through this back part pretty fast. Where's Medusa?
Yeah, no Medusa. We'll. Yeah, well, we're gonna get to the Malabolgia after this, I think. So that should take a while.
From Spawn?
And you will see things that make my words incredible.
Yeah, I mean, we have not.
We have AR.
We haven't met any other Crusaders, I don't think. I'd like to see some more Crusaders.
Were the Spinders and the Waste... Was Greed the best level? Oh, this is interesting.
I don't know if I think Greed is the best level. I kind
Or the
of.
most accurate, maybe.
Yeah, Greed at least seems like it was the most.
Because we were pretty like, oh wow, this is pretty...
Biblically accurate, for lack of a better phrase.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Wait, what? Okay.
It made you kill yourself.
That's just an
That's
effect of the
sick.
dropping. Okay.
Yeah, so they drop thrice.
They drop suicidal thoughts.
Oh, they drop more than thrice. You might have to do the quick time thing. Oh, you kill the tree that's attached to the dropping.
Yeah.
I see.
So attacking the trees shuts them up. It's the opposite of...
Yeah. Hey, nice work, Sham. Turn the other way and see if there's a way to pass the other tree. That one is not looking gettable.
I see. It looks like there's a safe statue behind it, so I think
So you have to go around to it.
you get around to it eventually.
I'd like to see some more Crusaders instead of that one weird monk.
Yeah, I haven't been tracking the OC Dante story flashbacks much, but like did he kill a bunch of heretics? Was that what that animation cutscene?
Yeah, he killed a bunch of. He was just like going murder mode on the Crusades. Like, was like very. You gotta get the sorcerer, the confessor first.
There we go.
Now you can shoot those guys. Now they're vulnerable to crosses.
Wait. Does that work from the ground? No. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if I were a tree, I think I also would have a little bit of a vendetta against the human race, for sure.
Digging the sound design.
Yeah.
The symphony of screams stuff.
Yeah, for a little while the game was starting to feel a little generic, but then Dis was really cool and specific, and then also, even though the puzzles were annoying, was at least like a nice little change. And then Violence and Suicide have been really textured and cool and designed. And you can clip me saying that Violence and Suicide are cool, if you want.
We have to punish people, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Pietro.
Wiz, do you know anything about Pietro Della Vigna? I didn't read up through the Suicide trees. I don't think we're going to get this far today.
Yeah, I didn't realize this was going to be so short. I was like, surely Medusa will be a huge set piece.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be a lot longer. Alright, there's going to be some reason to have that at some point. I don't know why. Oh, probably to get up there.
Oh, to be turned into Chainsaw Man.
Isn't that what we all want?
I think I have to like...
Oh, nice. That was well surfed. Now if you want to, we can go back and see what that was blocking.
I think, is this path going to lead me around to it? Let's see.
I do like that this game has a suicide force, though. I feel like...
Yeah, see, I just...
Yeah, true.
Could I have done that the whole time?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I feel like modern TikTok safe language shit would not permit... Not to be, you know, Andrew Dice Clay about this.
The unalive forest.
But yeah, it'd be like the force of unaliving. I think you gotta kill that thing. We do not look at trees either as dryads or as beautiful objects while we cut them into beams. The first man who did so may have felt the price keenly, and the bleeding trees in Virgil and Spencer may be far-off echoes of that primeval sense of impiety. The stars lost their divinity as it strongly developed, and the dying god has no place in chemical agriculture. Lewis, the abolition of man. That's right.
Damn.
C.S. Lewis has sometimes unleashed some real bangers. Yeah, Chesterton also. That's also very Heidegger style sentiment, although we don't, no one likes to talk about Heidegger because of how he turned out to be a Nazi.
G.K. Chesterton?
It's the one.
Nice.
Me being a big stan for Heidegger is such a difficult thing because he really was a bad Nazi. But he's like so correct about so much stuff, and he has such interesting things to say. But he really was like a big time Nazi in like a really crazy way. And like, even when you try to be like the Holocaust was bad, actually, he just ends up being like, it was bad, but like, have you seen the agricultural processes to which corn is exposed? Have you seen the things that we do to corn? You think the Holocaust was a problem? Imagine being corn. And it's like, no, this is worse, for sure.
But Lux, the corn.
I know, it's really crazy. It sucks, like I said, because he really is, I think, one of the more interesting philosophers of the 20th century, and really profoundly influential and really smart about a lot of things. And I think a very good example of like the way that it's kind of an inversion of like the artist thing, where it's like, well, it's not peaceful being corn because they do the Holocaust to you all the time. Bro, they do the Holocaust to you. They grow you industrially and then destroy your whole deal, and that's bad. But like, it's a real like artist thing in the sense of like, you know, if he had taken his own advice, he probably wouldn't have been a Nazi.
Whoa. Mother. But we killed him.
That's what your dad told you.
She was too fragile.
I despised your father's cruelty. I was too weak to defy him.
Thank you, Ha Gnarly. I did not.
Whoa, a lot of C.S. Lewis lore coming off Shammy in the chat.
I only knew him as the writer of Out of the Silent Planet.
Can you forgive me? Change. Others become the man they once were.
Beatrice was all I had. Why did I betray her?
It's too late for us, son. There's still time for her. Absolve me. My soul belongs to you. You must save Beatrice. She is innocent.
Mom, did you see the amount of time she was giving the devil?
Yeah, she was.
Suicide.
Whoa, we
fruit.
learned suicide. We learned the unaliving fruit.
The unaliving tree. Oh, what's it do? Stunning nearby enemies.
You gotta pop it.
Yep.
Dude, C.S. Lewis was the ultimate fucking. It was so good. Camping spawn points and C.S. Lewis with the boys. What a evening.
Alright, I used a lot of magic.
Oh my god. It is crazy that the sleepiest day of my week every week is the day where I play 8 hours of video games on the internet.
Pixel Goblins, nap time.
I have not read The Hideous Strength. That is interesting. The Hideous Strength. That is interesting.
What is the Hideous Strength?
The Hideous Strength. It's a C.S. Lewis thing. I think that's interesting though, especially because like so often that is just like a metaphorical thing. Like you strangle the devil, but it's really about like mustering your inner strength to have a commitment to God or whatever. I don't know if that's what happens in that book because I haven't read it, but yes, keep punishing.
Yes. I will use my unaliving seeds well.
Violence may be done against the deity by denying him in the heart.
The heart, Osborne. Go for the heart.
To be feared.
The 7 kings who besieged Thebes reside here. They feared not that vengeance.
The kings of Thebes. Lux, I'm really starting to suspect we're not going to encounter a Medusa.
It is a very dude's rock solution to ultimate evil for sure. Strangling the devil with your bare hands.
Oh yeah. The imagination of like the lack of political imagination you were talking about earlier just brings to mind. I recently watched the movie Roadhouse.
Oh, I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
Which one did you watch? The new one or the old one?
The old one, the original. It fascinates me how that movie is wrestling with like the question of violence, and it doesn't want the individual to kill, but it does understand like there's a community decision-making process that might be the best place for that.
Yeah, well, it's this idea that like
I didn't realize it was gonna be such a Western.
it's like it definitely plays the idea like it's very necessary that society have. Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
really,
Westworld. Like thinking earlier, like you know, the big thing that villain's doing is like, yeah, Patrick Swayze's fighting on the side of like the local small business people, but like the big villain is the dude who's gonna bring J.C. Penney and the mall, and yeah.
Well, yeah, it is a big like anti-corporatist thing, and then also it has a thing going on that I really like. That is like what you're getting at here, which is sort of this idea that, like, you don't want to be someone or have someone in your community whose thing is I like to do violence.
Right.
Like that's bad, but it's important for a community to have people who are capable of doing violence. Oh, I didn't get to read his deal.
Yeah, I did not.
Oh, what's up, Nakamas?
Hey, Nakamas. But what were you saying about violence and doing violence?
That like it's not good, and like one shouldn't wish to do it, and it's like not a thing for which one should be praised or around which one should build an identity, but that it's kind of mission critical for a community to support itself to have people willing to do it, because there will always be bad people who are willing to do it.
Just like you brought this up when we talked a bit about like Berserk.
Yes, Berserk is another text that gets into this in a cool way. That it's inevitable, that violence is sort of inevitable, and that the willingness to commit violence on behalf of a community is necessary for the community's sustained existence. Because, like, I mean, it's sort of Karl Popper shit, right? Like, an infinitely tolerant society will tolerate the intolerant, or it will tolerate intolerance, and if you tolerate intolerance, the intolerant will eventually take advantage of that tolerance and utilize it to like push their own ends, because they're more willing to disregard the norms of a tolerant society than the tolerant people who comprise society are, right? Mm-hmm. And so like you need to have people willing to engage in violence, because there are always going to be other people who are bad actors who are willing to engage in violence. And if those people engage in violence and there's no one to sort of push back on them, then there's no mechanism for resisting their violent action.
Is this what One Piece is about?
Among other things. It's not what One Piece is doing. We should buy the second mana expansion things. We haven't gotten that yet.
Okay. I thought. Okay.
And we haven't gotten the Wisdom of Horus or the other, we have like the Wisdom of Solomon or whatever.
Come here.
Gundam would never. Darley says about the show that's maybe the most about this shit of all time.
You said the magic expansion upgrade? I think it's...
On Unholy. It's on Unholy, on the Unholy side.
Oh, on the unholy side. I thought you were saying on holy.
Yeah, that one.
You were saying unholy. Okay, we got what, 2,200? I think that's not enough for anything, right? Everything's like 2,500 minimum.
I was talking about this recently, and I really wish that someone I know had a podcast where I could go the fuck off on this shit.
Keeping your woke politics out of Gundam? Sorry, that's the first thing I
Yeah.
saw looking at the chat screen.
Is that like people talk about how Evangelion is like so
No, I think I don't.
revolutionary and so push the limits on these questions of like violence and child warfare and trauma and
Yeah.
political costs and what violence does to people and stuff. But like
That's in the genre.
in 0079. Like that's in OG Gundam.
Yeah. Yeah, Amuro is a magical boy. I've had friends tell me about like just like the influence in that respect. But yeah, I've been reading through the origin, and it is so very much about the same sort of internalities.
Yeah, this is one of my. I don't think it's even that hot a take. I think it's just textual analysis, but it's like
Yeah.
an unpopular take is that that Gundam was doing all like basically all this, like not all of, because there's a lot of like the AT field stuff and human instrumentality
Yeah.
and like body horror stuff that
Eva's still bringing
that
its
Eva
own
is doing
stuff.
that is like very different and new. But a lot of the stuff about like children and trauma and all this stuff, people are like, wow, it's so pushing the limits of like what the genre's about. It's like that's what the genre's about.
He war orphans coming together and forming the new community. I think original Gundam's one of the first like mature things I got as a kid, like watching anime and stuff, because it was slower than Dragon Ball Z and definitely not as, the animation was older because it was the OG
There's
series.
some unbelievable animation in 079 though.
Yeah. But
Also-
I remember there just being moments where I was like, oh, war sucks, watching that as a kid, where I was like, I get it. I get what this is trying to make me feel sad, but like that's the art of it.
Yeah. Also, Nakamis, that's so cool.
Wait, what's Nakamis saying?
That he got the Uniqlo Amuro PTSD shirt.
Whoa.
I gotta look that shirt up.
Yeah, send a link.
Gundam Wing is a lot more melodrama shit.
Yeah. Wing really only has the designs going for it. It is kind of a weak series. That was something else, because like Wing was the first one Toonami ran, and I wasn't super into that one besides the look of the robots, but then I liked the original series better. As far as like actually getting interested in the conflict and the characters and stuff. So shout out to the original Gundam series for getting me early on out of the mode of like the newer, shinier thing is automatically the better version of the thing.
Is this remote? That's that one. So we're having our classic problem.
Coordinating pickup.
No, the TV wanting to turn itself off.
Oh, okay. I thought you were, yeah. See, here's the thing, Gnarly. I'm a very shallow Gundam fan. I liked Gunpla as a kid. I watched whatever was on Toonami at the time as much as I could, but I didn't actively like seek out and rewatch and binge it as an adult. I'm reading through the origin, and like even at that distance, I see what Lux is talking about and the points you're making. I'm like, how can someone engage with Gundam at a more hardcore or more intense level than what I'm doing and not see it? It is confusing to me.
All right, if you do some double jumping here.
Oh, I thank you, Nakamas.
Thank you, Nakamas. I was always pretty tapped into that kind of shit, only because you gotta not jump into the ocean. I was tapped into that kind of shit always. I think I've talked about this on.
I think Adult
something,
Swim
but-
read the War in the Pocket OVA at one point too, and I was like, this is real cool.
I think I talked about this maybe to you in private or before, or or on some stream. But part of the reason I'm always tapped into this kind of shit is that when I was a kid, the rule in my house was that I could watch anything that I wanted as long as I wrote a book report about it. I could watch or read or listen to anything I wanted to as long as I wrote a book report about it.
Didn't tell me that aspect, dude. I thought you were gonna bring up, like, you mentioned video games. You couldn't play things where you killed people, so that's why you got into like a lot of fantasy
That's
stuff.
also true. That was the only actual restriction. Yeah, well, but I assume the rationale, Knack, was that from my parents is that if I wrote something in advance, I would just kind of be making it up, kind of. Whereas the point of the book report thing was that I would like have to learn stuff. I also think part of it is that my brother was 6 years older than me, and I would watch stuff with him, and he would watch things that were definitely like not necessarily age appropriate for, like, you know, he'd be 15, I'd be 9. And I think that my parents were sort of like, look, there's not really a great way to stop him from doing this, and it's good that they're hanging out and doing stuff together, but we should have some kind of rule. So the rule is book reports.
He's watching what?
Did you see? I saw a crazy thing today. Speaking of YouTube, apparently GeoGuessr and like the website that they use to do their special song contest rigged the competition, and like all the advertising was that it was going to be a popular vote, and then it turned out they just handpicked the winners, and this dude had like incontrovertible evidence of that. And it turns out GeoGuessr, the people they were collaborating with, just like fully rigged this like make a fun remix of a song competition thing. Very weird. Also, like, why? It was also crazy because like the vote counts were so low.
You know,
Like-
we used to have Supreme Court hearings about TV shows rigging their stuff.
Yeah, like the vote counts were like crazy. This guy was like, I was in first place with 193 votes, and I was like, and he's like, and then look, at this moment, this prone person got 70 votes instantly, and it swung the whole thing, and it was just like you're rigging an election where the winning vote total is like under 200. Like, clearly the stakes of this cannot be that high. But if you won, you got a free trip to Copenhagen to be in the World GeoGuessing Championship or whatever. That's pretty cool. But it was wild that was happening, and I was watching a video about it this morning, and I was really, that was my like one, you know, because I do my morning process of drink a coffee while I read some of my book, do my free write, and then play a video game and watch a video, and then than do my jobs. Or work out if it's a day where I'm working out. You don't have to punish anymore. You can do anything you want now.
Only punish.
Also, a ghost bro, I'll push back on that. Book reports are fun, actually. Now, I say that as someone who obviously was sort of kidnapped into doing them at a young age all the time. So maybe I'm not the best person to say this in terms of like purely unbiased perspective. But damn, gnarly, incredible. That was a really good takedown of this nerd who's mad about his vote totals.
No, yeah, I do think under the right circumstances, like book reports are good for just getting you to think about critically the thing you're ingesting in a better sense.
They're fun.
Like, I liked the thing.
It's fun to think about stuff and to pay attention to what it's doing and why it's doing it.
Yeah. For all the shit I criticize Doom Eternal about, I think it gives me a better understanding of just where we're at in gaming and, you know, market demands.
I mean, one of, you know,
masculine power fantasy, etc., etc. It's more fulfilling than just doing the boppets right and going, I did the boppets right.
yes, Darley, absolutely. Having to share a book report in front of class is nightmare shit, and they shouldn't make kids do that.
Yeah, that
that's psychotic.
aspect is not what I'm talking about.
You
at
don't.
all.
That's not.
Yeah.
That's not the good part. Writing the shit is good. Having it in front of the class and be like, "Here's why I liked the book about the big frog." Is
Yeah, take a moment to reflect on like why the thing made you feel the way or what the thing's doing.
It's important to think about why you like
did.
the book about the big
Yeah.
frog, but it's bad to make a kid get up in front of their whole class and read about why they like the big frog.
I think the basic essay format does help you understand like story structure and narrative structure in a way too. Just like the interchangeability of form is there.
Yeah, I mean, Wiz, you're right that like doing some of that shit is probably good and like probably helpful developmentally and like especially for a teacher to like know what their kids like. But that sucks, and I hated that shit.
For some folks, it's not even. Just the anxiety of public speaking is something. It's a thing, all right. I trail off saying.
Yeah, I mean, I was, you know, I did speech stuff. Like, I like public speaking.
Yeah, I did do like the slam poetry nonprofit in El Paso where we had touring writers come and there were open mics that kids and people could just get involved in. More about getting people comfortable speaking at a microphone and just saying hello to other folks in the community.
It's so funny that friend of the show Rory has like crippling stage fright for someone who gets up in public pretty often. But he's like really hates it. Oh, I remember the Alpha Smart. Yeah, okay, gnarly, we get it. But like, I did not like public speaking. I did not like class reporting. I was like, I don't know. I think I was a strange student to have probably as a kid because I fucking loved school and I loved learning shit and I loved all that bullshit. Like, I loved reading the books and doing the homework and it was so fun. And then I just fucking hated going to school. And I didn't like, I just like didn't want to sit there and get told what to do. And so I was just like constantly being a little shit and breaking the rules and missing class and being a little wiener dog. But like,
Oh, that is a smart use of the seeds.
yeah, I wish it occurred to me earlier. You fucks.
Yeah, oh man, that's a key distinguishing thing, because so much of what you're projecting onto the audience, the audience in the best case scenario is understanding or receptive that, like, hey, this guy's getting up to the podium, I don't want to go up to the podium. There's a shared anxiety you are putting to rest when you go up to the podium and just speak. Now, acting's still magic to me, though.
Acting's so fun.
I can be presentational and pretty comfortable in front of, like, a camera. Like, now, I'm in a very casual mode, just on this couch with video games and my friends. It's not so much like, wow, how'd they do a different voice? It's the coherent channeling of it all into a package that, it's knowing how to present, like, on the meta level beyond just, like, I'm on camera. Like, I'm on camera and I'm channeling a particular, like, psychological intent here, and it's an affect carried through, not just, like, the words I'm saying. Because it's not just, you know, saying the lines, but just the affect of body and performance.
Yeah, scripted acting is like seems impossible to me. Improv, I am very comfortable with and think is fun and am used to doing, and I think pretty good at. But fucking scripted acting seems like inconceivable.
Because on top of all that meta I just went with, the scripted actors also, like, very much having to trust the rest of your production that the final movie is going to be good. You can be acting your ass off, and if the camera exposure's off, it's just like, didn't capture it, oh well.
But you have to say it correctly and, like, in an intoned way and with, like...
You can't sound too rehearsed.
Yeah, you have to make sure they don't know that they told you what to say. It's not even memorizing it's hard, it's just, like, the bringing to life.
Right.
It's so, like, I don't know.
In theater, yes, there's the memorization. In film, I'm not trying to say, like, film's lesser accurate, but, like, you can redo takes and stuff. But that creates a whole other set of problems, because then you have to be consistent from take to take.
Yeah, Wiz, I know that's right. I've directed your ass. But, like, even that, it's like, I don't know. For me, it's sort of like, when I'm doing improv, because I'm making the choice of the line, and the choice of the thing, the choice of the character, and the choice of the space we're in, everything feels like a lot more authentic, and it's a lot easier for me to feel comfortable and direct with the thing that I'm doing. Whereas with scripted acting, I have to, like, construct the perspective from which I'm reading and through which I'm performing. And having that feel real or like an actual thing. Right, but it's like in the name of creating a thing that is like, it's taking a thing that exists outside yourself and then filtering yourself through it / bringing it into your own like epistemic and performative space. Whereas with improv, it's like shooting out a little like chest burster alien into the world with a bunch of other people and like working through that. And that like is easy for me to do. And it comes naturally and coherently. And with scripted acting, it's like I'm not good at it. Like there have been fight opera shows where we've been done the goblins thing and we've been working on them and I've been like, we have to stop because we've written too much stuff down.
Oh. So is their chest scar just a genetic thing?
A boss fight. We haven't had one of these in a while.
Yeah, I was longing for one. utterly disappointed that it's not Medusa.
Yeah. Crazy that the Minotaur was just a statue. Oh my god.
There wasn't any of the three ladies.
The Furies, yeah.
The Furies, yeah. Like the Furies and Medusa would have been such an interesting encounter concept, especially because like Dante and Virgil in the text are waiting at the gates of Dis for a messenger from heaven to come down to give them the proper clearance. One of the parts of the book I can see being explicitly, video gamey. Oh, these blood waterfalls are pretty tight though. Dork Souls.
And this is big time Dork Souls.
Do that. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you got friends? That sucks. What's wrong way?
Friends you can manage pretty easily, it seems. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna die on this one because I got off to a bad start, but Henry, I think you'll be able to handle this pretty easy.
I've been enjoying the boss fights a lot in that. Oh, shit.
Oh, that's tight. That's such a sick animation.
Stab you on his own sword. This is such a Dork Souls consideration, because I can see in a Souls like just like, fighting an enemy with just weapons in him and him using the weapons in him. It almost reminds me of Godfrey. I would consider Bayonetta.
Bayonetta
yes.
is not a bad one.
It is right in the vein of character action. It is excellent.
Good luck, Shammy. Have a good work.
I never played Bayonetta 2 or 3, but I'm a big fan of Bayonetta 1. Also, the finale on Bayonetta 1's just the theology of that game is amazing.
I mean, playing Bayonetta, if we were to go Uncle Core, if we were to do the Uncle Core run instead of doing Dark Souls right away, Bayonetta would have to be part of it as like the one
exception.
The one feminine
right
element of that project. Like, what does it look like to make a Angry Stepbro game for girls? Oh, Wiz, you know what genre of video I've got into lately is the people who can hear an accent, speaking of battleships, and then guess where someone's from, and they're good at it.
Oh, what is this?
Can you grab that sword? Oh, exploded. Yeah, I found a guy who's really good at it. I can send you his TikTok. It's like the only TikTok I've ever recorded.
Is that the one you sent on the Burn channel?
I sent it in the Burn channel, yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy. This lady has what sounds to me like the most like generic sort of East Coast accent imaginable. And this dude like goes through everything she says and then is like, "You're from Florida somewhere," and she's like, "I'm from Florida somewhere." And it was just like, what the fuck? How did you do that? Yeah, I'll send you the Florida one, and then you can go from there to find other ones. WeYork is one of my favorite places to get minions. Nothing bad to say about the Minion Acquisition Network on WeOrg. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, wait, okay, wait. There is something to do with that. Oh, fuck. That's how you beat this guy. That's something to do with that, I'm sure of it.
What, the suicide seeds?
No, no. You can pull that sword out of the ground, it does
Throw it
something.
back at him or something. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, those dudes deceptively will bounce around. I'll try grabbing the sword as well. See, we're having to suss out what to do with this boss. I had an issue in Doom Eternal, not an issue. I had a moment in Doom Eternal where a new enemy appears and a explainer box pops up telling you specifically what his weak points are and what his pattern is, and it just strips the joy out of the boss encounter for me, I'll tell you that.
I was reading, obviously, this is gonna make me sound like such a fucking Souls dork, but like, I was on the Elden Ring subreddit, and there was a post that was like, this game desperately needs a quest tracking log. And it's just like, no, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Like,
especially because in Elden Ring you can make your own waypoints and set your own tokens on the map, so it's about like imposing your own narrative on the world.
yeah, it's like you might be someone who wants to have one of those, and that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with wanting one of those, but like, it doesn't desperately need it. Desperately need is such a crazy way to frame like
The game desperately needs this or it's broken,
yeah,
unplayable,
like it's
inaccessible.
it's totally useless game without it. I get why this guy like is a boss in this game and like the narrative function of this character, but it is crazy to me to be like, we need to make up a guy for Dante to fight who's like the manifestation of his bad crusade stuff instead of just being like the Minotaur is here.
Yeah.
Or like Medusa's around. We're fighting Francesco, who's I think Beatrice's brother, who's just sort of like a different Dante who was
Worse that time.
really a different crusader who died. Yeah, I don't think I can parry that.
Yeah, we went to hell to fight a guy, King of Mystery. Has it all been like family member stuff?
No, because there was Minos and Charon and Cleopatra. Oh, I'm doing a really bad job this time. There's like a... Oh, I remember the thing I was doing. Oh, that didn't work.
Well, that is what Dante is doing in the poems when he encounters people from Florence, is settling neighborhood beef. So, in tone, true to form, except instead of just saying, you know what, you wrote good poems, but you didn't worship God, he's like, I'm gonna beat you with my scythe.
Yeah, a lot of this poem, for people who weren't here for the first episode where we talked about this a lot of the Inferno is Dante just being like, basically in Florence there was a revolt, a war between the Guelphs and the Ghibellines, over sort of the influence of the church and like the influence of France and some other stuff. And Dante was on one side and his side lost and he got banished. And the Inferno is a lot of Dante being like,
Very mad at people.
just being like, the people who banished me, they're all in hell for different reasons, and it's because they suck. And here's why they suck, and the specific reasons they suck. And this book's big time about how and why these guys suck so bad, who were mean to me. It's a big time Spike book, which is definitely part of why I like it so much. You have to dodge his,
Just have to straight up get out of the way of the charged one.
of like the big sword stuff.
Yeah, okay, I was dodging too early there.
Bishops lie.
That was cool.
Yeah.
He kind of free willied over his back and got him from behind. And spells can do a lot of damage if you time them right.
I just totally fucked up that suicide pool. Okay, let's get over here. Let's regroup. Rework our
They can't be.
shit.
They looks like they're immune to the suicide problem.
Okay.
Hit him with the L triangle.
With the L triangle?
When he has no shield, if you do the surf attack, it'll hit him a bunch of times. You have to wait till he has no shield. If you realize his shield will block it, probably.
Okay.
Sword behind you.
Oh, what's this corner I'm stuck in? Okay.
Now do it. Surf into him.
What's the
L1 triangle, the blue magic? Yeah.
There we go.
Oh. Fully ate that
I'm
one.
sliding just a bit too early. Okay.
Oh, you gotcha.
Getting closer though. Okay.
Shut up.
It's just an old-timey Twitter rant.
I think, given the timing of the story, that yeah, Dante was the first Crusade.
Yes.
I mean, he wasn't, but
The character, not the writer.
Dante, because now we have Dante Pilgrim, Dante Poet, and now added to the literary base, we have Dante Crusader. A third different Dante.
There you go. Although I don't know what your air juggling's doing here. Keeping you out of dodge, but okay, there you go.
Oh, I dodged him right into it. That was stupid.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's very easy to get stuck in that loop though. If he hits you with the red one and you're still getting up, he will throw that sword. Yeah, there's the move.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this game is doing its best to be fidelitous to the Dante texts for sure, but I don't think it cares that much about the Crusades.
Yeah, the cannibalism, if anything, is more a reference to well, they're getting blurry with what the circles are doing.
We also haven't gotten to the circle that has cannibalism in it.
Yeah. But we also just like kind of, I don't know, Styx was weird. The whole disc section seemed oddly structured and kind of fast. There you go. Keep doing the sky leaps.
Oh.
So close. Okay. Come on, throw your sword. There we go.
How'd you do that?
Just recognize the patterns finally, you know? Well, okay, interesting transition there. What'd I get though? What's that do? Protected from all enemy damage.
Just an upgrade of the shield, I guess.
Okay.
Why is he forsaken us?
Why indeed?
Murder is only in the name of the murderer. Redeem yourself. Use my soul wisely. Beatrice.
I do like the teeth in the tree. Yeah, Beatrice's brother. Oh, we're on the back of Garyon, Lux.
Yes.
I think he's just a statue.
No, he's a guy.
So now we just descend.
He's like a big guy with hooves and stuff, but he's huge. So maybe in this version he has an elevator.
Dang.
You can tell this game is assuming a certain power desire, like in the player base, though, from how like we only lost to Francesco like 3 or 4 times before. It was like, do you want to turn the difficulty down?
Yeah.
So it's like it does like think that the players want to like. Let me see if I can find Gary on the book.
Oh yeah, we can use the overhead cam if there's any good imagery.
Yeah.
There's going to be centaurs, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, Kingdom Mystery. I know you've been watching both of these, both this and Doom Eternal.
I found Gary on.
And if you remember me complaining about cheeseburgers in Doom Eternal yesterday, this feels not like that, even though it's a similar situation where it's like, hey, this character that was like a hard boss-like enemy earlier, here's 4 of them. Oh, they're ready. The Netflix adaptation, they're an elevator.
Yeah, to be clear, he does not have an elevator. He's not an elevator in the book. I'll show you a picture of what it looks like in the book in a sec. Henry's just sort of preoccupied and can't switch camera angles right this second. The combat's pretty fun. It does look kind of boring and samey, but you have a lot of different combos that actually do meaningfully different effects, and same with the spells and shit.
I've been enjoying the artifacts and stuff. Like, I have the thing right now that allows me to just, like, respawn mana. Or mana gradually refills. We also have 7,000 souls we should spend.
Yeah, he's gonna survive this fight. And then it's mine. I spanned it.
I just
All right,
walked right to that dude.
Hit the button. Hit the button to swap him. Do the camera switch.
To swap them? Oh, yeah.
So this is Gary on. Here, I'll turn it. This is...
Is it not rotated properly?
No, I'm just trying so you can get the best possible look at this guy, because it's sort of weird. This is Gary on from the Inferno, according to Gustav Doré. And I'll read his description.
Wizard. I am a little frustrated there wasn't just a save point after that boss. I was like, good, stopping point, excellent chapter in for the day.
We got one more thing to do. It's fine, we got a few minutes till forest time.
Now the big bosses are going to be coming in a moment after I kill these dudes. Yep, winged boy.
You can always use your redemption points.
Uh-oh.
All right, give me a... Here, if you want to look in here to find the description of Gary on this chapter while I do this. He is really just a guy, huh, who's an elevator. He's not a cool dragon or anything at all.
No tail, no wings.
Do you guys not get floated if I hit my float move? I guess not. I do like that they have the upside down Crusader cross on their shields. That's cool. Oh, I see how you kill these guys. I figured out their secret. Shit, okay, well, but now I gotta try this again because I solved the puzzle of these guys.
Go for it.
Which I'm so dumb for not solving earlier, but...
Behold the monster with the pointed tail, who cleaves the hills and breaketh walls and weapons. Behold him who infecteth all the world.
Pretty cool.
The face was as the face of a just man, its semblance outwardly was so benign, and of a serpent all the trunk beside. So a just man's face on a serpent's body.
With wings.
2 pairs it had, hairy unto the armpits, the back and breast, and both the sides it had depicted o'er with nooses with shields. His tail was unholy quivering in the void, contorting upwards the enamored fork, that in the guise of a scorpion armed its points. So yeah, scorpion tail, reptile body, just man's face. Looks good up front, but horrifying if you look beyond the superficial.
Yeah. But cool as hell. Oh, this time that was bad.
What'd you say the secret was you found?
If you hit them with the cross, the fire goes out of their shields and they become breakable. If their shields break, they're very easy to kill.
My part was getting through that first wave took too much damage for me. You
Yeah.
can get these guys withered down relatively fast. It's
Yeah.
just...
That's what I'm saying, is solving the first guys, like learning that secret about their shields, makes them killable without taking nearly as much damage, using nearly as many resources. Oh, get over here, you old bee. Oh my god, this guy's killing me.
Yeah. What's going on?
These guys are usually not that big a problem to me.
So last time I was playing, I thought I had these 2 dudes handled, and then the 3rd wizard comes out, and that really ruined my whole flow of this encounter. But he's not coming out this time.
No, he will. I just have to get one of them sufficiently hurt.
You have to get him down to R2. There you go, yeah. Rip those wings.
And then it's time to kill that wizard really quick.
Clipped, yeah. Now kill the wizard.
Shit. That's not good. Okay, wizard down. Oh no. Oh crap. Alright, I gotta run because Forrest has got here if you want to wrap up this fight.
Yeah.
Everyone, this is a very fun stream. It was great hanging out with y'all. I'll just leave the Dante book here because I'll just read, I have a digital copy too. Goodbye everyone. Great stream, fun hang. If you want to see me later, I'll be on Pixel Goblins in an hour and a half.
I'll give you all a shout out.
Henry will throw a shout out in the chat. Talk to you guys soon. I gotta run.
Safe traveling, dude.
Yeah, Forrest got here slightly earlier than planned. Also, we went a little later than planned. So.
Yeah, we've been going late this week. This is the 2nd time of the 2 streams we've done so far.
It's a late style week, I guess.
Everybody's getting a lot of extra Technopoverty this week.
And aren't they so lucky? Alright, goodbye to everyone. Good luck, Henry.
See you, Lux. Alright, chat, we're gonna get through this encounter just fine. Except that shit doesn't work on wizards, got it. Warlocks don't like the cross. There we go. Got rid of the magician. I feel mad at this particular encounter, so let's punish it. And you. Some sort of trophy. Oddly enough, where's the music for this section? It seems very against form. It's very interesting to have this very punishing fight right after a boss with no save too. What is the point of that, guys? Come on. Standard corporate elevator. All right, we did it. We just had to lock in. I don't feel the degree of locking in is hardcore as Doom Eternal's degree of locking in. What? Did you all see that? What was that? Fraud. All right. Okay, I'm gonna refill my meters. I'm gonna make some purchases unsupervised by Lux, and then we're calling it a day. But yeah, I guess it was fraud. Wow, the game's really making a point with the metatextual ludonarrative harmony here. I do want a stronger Lust Storm. Do any of these upgrade my health is my question. More redemption. Blind surrounding enemies. Sacred Judgment. Doing an air launch. More damage from Righteous Path. Okay, I'm going to go with stronger spells because I do like using the Lust Storm. I do like using Righteous Path. All right, let's save.
save again because we're paranoid about the PS3 for reasons unspecified, but sure, why not? And there we go, save completed. All right, y'all, you've been getting some extra long sessions of Technopoverty this week. Enjoy. Thank you all for supporting us. By support, just I love the views and just getting to chat. And we're working our way out of hell. Lux will be back next Dan Tuesday to continue on through. I feel we're getting close to the end here. And, come back Thursday for Doom Eternal. Until then, y'all take care.